talking. Oh, good Monday. Sometimes it takes me a second. Good Monday. This is an indie RPG live play. You too can experience this moment by staying tuned. Please feel free to join us on our Patreon because we need money and everybody needs money.
Who doesn't?
Money's great. It's a thing that we all like to have. Geeky Gamer Podcast is our Patreon. You want to give us a coffee? Give us a coffee. We like coffee. That's spelled Kofi, and you can do it at our Dreadlore things. All lowercase letters. Mr. Interrupt brings us noise and music, and some would call it music. Others would call it atmosphere. Some would call it other things. I don't know what they call it. Couchfire Media makes art and media for this podcast, and Trois Replay Productions produces all things Trois Replay.
Right. That's what we do.
Yeah. This is Geeky Gamer Podcast live play, streaming live on Twitch. Make sure to comment as much as you would like to comment.
As much as you dare.
It's just say all the things. You know, tell us to do things. We might do it. So there. Bill?
It's hard being awake this early, isn't it? Yeah. So we're playing this game, Cursed. It's a tabletop role-playing game that we just created. We're in the beta test, and thankfully, I have conned some people into joining this. We're at the Indie RPGs Discord server. They have been very kind to support us and let us use their server to do this. Let's do some introductions of who in the world we are. Let's start with John.
Hi, I'm John. There you go.
Yep. Who are you? What are you playing? Tell us a little bit about your character. And, you know, if you have a sneaky thing to shill, you go for it.
No shilling this week. I play Connor. Do a dinner or D9 or
Dinner.
Yeah, a dinner. Yeah, it was just trying to civilize the big dinosaur. Not failing miserably.
And how about Miller?
Yeah. I'm Miller. I am playing a Maroshi named Clem. He's a big, kind of based on the Native American types.
Big dude.
Big and rough. Big mean guy.
And how about Ken?
I'm playing a character called Bob Baker. He was a baker who drank the ooze and turned into a giant reptile. Maybe he didn't. Maybe he did. Who's to say? But he does have an obsession with food, and he's currently naked, surrounded by a bunch of young girls.
You just always bring the pain, don't you? It's always. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a lizard, and it's okay because he keeps his. It's like he used to be clothed. He used to have armor, but he melted it all away because he was playing with dragon fire because he thinks he's a dragon.
Right. I mean, kind of are a dragon, sort of. You hope to be one day.
Yeah, one day I'm gonna get the wings, the tail. It's gonna be a great thing. Yeah.
Yeah. It's. Let's do some NPCs. You have some NPCs with you. We don't have to introduce all of them because, as is stereotypical of my games, the NPCs far outnumber the players. But let's do a couple. I'm gonna put this on you guys. So, Connor, what's one of your NPCs, and give a brief description.
Irish bard. What the hell is he called? What's he called? The bard?
Ichabod.
It's Ichabod.
That's right. Yes. Who accompanied us just before we left the sea on our task to find Theurgic. He's been with us ever since. Not a fighter. Don't know if he's a lover, but he's a singer.
That's right.
There you go.
I love that. I literally have written down he's a lover, not a fighter. Yeah, his name is Ichabod Kidder, and he is an Ardavok. So he's one of the children of the forest types. Big, sort of like thick hair that always catches leaves and stuff. He's wafy, around 5 foot tall, and just whimsical as hell. You know, one of the people that could be a heartthrob. He's got his guitar, but he's always talking about art, and you know, everything is beautiful, and it could get a little annoying after a while.
He's a hippie.
He's a hippie. In our game, because I find it hilarious, every session he has a different instrument, slightly different, and no one talks about it. Miller, what is another NPC you have?
Juliana, she's the leader of the group of girls, and I think she's probably the closest to Clem. Clem's been using his old military skills and mentorship to help her become a better leader for all the girls.
Indeed. Yeah, Juliana, she's around, you know, you would guess 15, 16-ish years old. Bright orange hair, like she dyes it with some sort of fruit. She's sort of Irish traveler. All of her girls there are 11 of them total. And there's a whole slew, like a Lost Boys vibe is going on. Some of them are rather young. I think the youngest is like between 8 and 11, but they're all precocious and they get into a lot of trouble. Bob, what's your other NPC / not NPC right now?
Well, there's an NPC that's not among us. His name is Cursed Wood, where I believe Connor decided to hit him with his gun after he wanted to trade some of our women.
That's right. He knocked him out. That's right.
After he wanted to trade some of our women for dessert for this creature we ran across. And I guess he got a bad feeling from him. I think that Bob didn't really see it that way, but you know, not everyone can agree on everything when it comes to human consumption. Yeah, but they're just, I guess he knows about gadgets and guns, and would have been a powerful ally, but now is potentially a powerful enemy.
Who knows?
But he's a bad dude. I mean, there's no question about it. He's kind of bad. He was a mystic of the 12 and 7, and he was disbanded for doing something terrible. And the creature told us to torture him and make sure he gets to the mountain to get his just desserts.
That's right. Well, not to torture him. It's
to embarrass him,
right?
Or, you know, make his life as crappy as possible.
As you guys are on the road, this is actually a fairly well-traveled road. So you've come down out of the Reach Mountains, and the foothills, where supposedly there be mountain men. A few sessions ago, you found out that the mountain men were giants. They're men the size of mountains. Isn't that clever? Isn't that clever? Come
Super
on!
clever.
Anyway, it was when they found out. Regardless, you come down out of the foothills, and your ears pop because it's the lower elevation. The scene changes. You know, you see the birds and hear their whispers. To your right, there are the Western Kingdom Mountains, and to the right and north of you, you can see the fires that supposedly Olo the Wrecker, this sort of bandit king, was having people set to mess with, your all's kingdom, of the Western Kingdoms, the Coblix. You can see that off in the distance. Out ahead, as the road winds around, it becomes more used, more beaten. You can see wagon wheel tracks and puddles and the whole gamut. Here and there, a less traveled road will go off, and maybe there'll even be a sign that says, some tiny hamlet that'am way towards the sea, or other farm place, buy your fruit that way. So you're getting a little bit into a more civilized land. But you're not seeing anybody on the road. You've traveled for a couple days, haven't seen anyone. Not a horse, not a traveler whatsoever. And you can feel however you want about this, but you guys are well traveled enough to know that probably is because there are bandits, and you've heard of this Olo, the wrecker guy, and maybe the roads aren't that safe around here. The girls are at high alert, right? When you guys go off the road to make camp, you have your watches and everything. You try to keep things quiet, try to keep the fires low. And we start as it is morning. You've gotten all your stuff together and you're back on the road moving up. You look out ahead and spot down the winding road a couple wagons. They look like they have been, maybe their wheels are broken off or something. You don't see the travelers, but it's on either side of the road. And a couple of the girls will say it's Imrodel and Anna, say, "Oh, we've used that trick before. Those are bandits." They're kind of arguing with each other as to if they should be so cynical at such a young age. I'd already told you guys off stream pretty much the situation, so I'm not going to repeat it. You guys know where you are, basically. Real quick flashback. So freeze frame that. Clem, back in the mountains. You had just come down into the foothills, trying to find Cursed Wood's cloak and where the alchemist fire had gone off, and you're starting to see scorch marks here and there. You see the dragon's part of his armor, just a sludge, melted completely and charred up. It's amazing what alchemist fire can actually do, or Draka Fear is what it's called. It's coming on evening. It's getting dark. You got a few of the girls with you, sort of piecemealing around. I'm gonna say the action is on you at this point. What do you do? We're in the world, of course.
Yeah, if it's getting dark, then I'll have the girls rustle up some firewood. We'll probably camp here before we go back.
Mm-hmm.
We're not gonna be walking around through the night.
As that's happening, they are hip to the skip in doing that. As you're looking around, anything in particular? Are you just sort of scanning to find Cursewood's cloak, or what?
Oh yeah,
You're kind of up on like a ledge. You can go down into the ravine. You can have them go, whatever you want to do.
Yeah, I'll actively look for it. I'm not sure I want the girls to get a hold of that gun if it's still around.
Fair enough. As you're looking around on the ledge, and of course, it takes like a few minutes. You look down, and as it would be, Cursewood had flung his cloak off. It went down a cliff. It's about 20, 30 feet. It's not too far down, but very difficult terrain. If you've been to like Red River Gorge, just wild terrain, right? The kind of place you would not want to be if it rains. And you see it lying down there on the rocks, strewn out like a felled bird.
All right, I don't have any rope or anything, so I'll just climb on down there.
Okay. Slow going, you being a long, tall drink of water, you've done this before. You get all the way down there, and you find it as you maybe look through some of the pouches. It's pretty obvious where the gun is. You see it's not actually a gun. It's some just hunk of metal that is sort of roughly gun-shaped. And you see there's 2 charges, as you maybe get that. There's a tap on your shoulder. It is Farfley, the brown-eyed, very small, diminutive girl, as she's very quietly followed you down here. She's sort of like perched on one of the rocks, smiling at you. What you looking at?
Just an old piece of technology.
Technology. Whoa, tech a what?
Know-how.
She
Kinda,
reaches
kinda
her
like
hands out for it. Grubby hands, fingers.
Oh, this one's not very safe. I'm sorry.
Well, let me see it anyway.
Oh, yeah, I'll hold it up and let her take a look.
She looks it over. There's something in her eye, like a glint in her eye, like a knowing, like she might know something about it. As she then, what the fuck is it?
Oh, I'm not really sure. It belonged to Cursed-wood.
She kind of screws her face up.
Oh.
What you gonna do with it? Are you stealing it?
I'll probably bring it back.
Oh, if we're stealing stuff, as she kind of does this and jumps down onto the cloak and starts rummaging through the cloak.
All right.
Do you do anything, or do you let her do this?
I'll let her do it. I want to make sure that I hide that thing away so she doesn't see it, like under my cloak or something.
As she's going through it, up top. Actually, let me put a pin in this really quick. For those of you that are not technically in the scene, remember you can do actions. For example, that could potentially affect this scene. Now, we've been playing a lot, so I'm not going to give you all the things. Just throwing it out there. From up top, you hear a couple of the girls, "What's she doing down there? Oh, she's found something. Firefly's found something again." As you see some of the girls like coming down, like scrambling for the scraps. As Firefly grabs up the coat, she kind of stops what she's doing. "This is mine now. No one else can have it." And you're kind of in the middle of this, towering above these people. What are you doing, Daddy-O?
Yeah, I'm gonna grab the cloak from her and be like, "Oh no, that's not yours. That still belongs to Mr. Cursed-wood."
But he's a turd. As they all kind of get down there and they're fighting over it and squabbling and whatnot. As Clem, you'll get an XP. In character, you can feel about however you want. But there's a feeling of maybe a karmic thing, or like a maybe like a gut feeling, however you want to describe it, that they just shouldn't mess with this. It's heavier than it should be. He's a tricksy fellow. Out of game, had you not done that, they would have sprung some traps. So, out of game for you all, you could have dropped the metagame action to tell him not to do that. So that would be a very good usage of metagame, although it raises the curse level by 1. Okay. Clem, as you grab the cloak and it just seems shady, maybe you guys are climbing up. One of the girls, since we have lots of them, it'll be Sybil. She says, "Hey, the old man is gone." As you all look over there, and in fact, you see where Lysander fell. You see some blood and some torn clothing and such. But the old man is gone.
Probably got drug off by wolves.
Ah! As we end the scene with that, back into modern day or present time. Action is on all of you. You see that there's a wagon on either side. It's on down the road. Think of like a football field away. So, John, a very long kick of the football. Get it? Because they don't have American foot anyway. Come on. Pretty good distance. 300 yards-ish. Do you use yards in England?
Yeah.
Or do you? Yeah, you got it right. Yeah, 300 yards. So, action's on you all.
I think those girls thinks this is a trap.
Yeah, we think it's a trap. Come on. You just put your wagon on the side of the road. 2 wagons at once. No one has 2 wagons at once that fail like this.
Well, maybe we should sneak around and see if they're waiting to ambush us.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I think we should make 2 teams. Circle around behind.
I will.
See, gosh.
Go ahead. I'll take charge.
You see Juliana slide to one side, Emrod slide to the other as they raise their hands. All right, team captain, you, and they start pointing and gaining, setting up teams. Meanwhile, Bob, you take charge. So we're in a round.
You guys
Go on.
Figure it out, and I'll just kind of walk down the middle and see what I can get to spring, we'll say.
Your bid.
And I'm gonna bid dragon roll, and I'm just gonna like roll up to the right where the cart is, like I own the place.
When you say this dragon roll thing, are you just doing somersaults the whole way?
Yeah,
Like,
spin around like this is the way I travel. This is the way I go.
You don't have a supernatural ability to literally turn into a Samus Aran ball and roll around because that's stupid. But you can, if you want to like lizard acrobatic. You got to describe that. You cannot turn into a ball. No. Like a Bowser shell? No.
I run on all fours, and then I'll roll once or twice.
Sure.
I'll do a couple of somersaults in a row, and then I'll jump up and I'll look around, and I'll just be very intimidating. But I won't stay really still because just in case somebody's wanting to shoot arrows at me.
Mm-hmm.
That they don't.
Yep, I get it. I love
hit
it.
Me.
It's almost like the is it called the haka? Is that what it is?
I don't know.
Before the football matches, the Samoan thing where they just
New Zealand
and they fucking go nuts.
Yeah. Haka.
As you roll up there, this 7.5 foot tall, just bus of a person, wildly moving and somersaulting around. Some of the girls are like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
So you run out there and you're bidding dragon roll. We will get to the end of that action in a second because I'm going to see what they're doing. What are you guys doing as that's going on? So you have your actions.
One is going to sit back.
Okay. So that means you regain some resources.
All right.
That's an Animus roll. As you sit back, just kind of watching and kind of taking a breather. Connor, what about you?
Join one of the groups, rifle in hand.
Which group do you join is the question. Because I'm just saying, you might piss off some ladies.
Oh.
The group I feel has the least experience since me and Cullen have been training them. Me for stealth, ambush, Cullen more military. So I will join the group that's the least proficient.
Yeah. So you have the smaller ones and the older ones. Like it's pretty clear what's up there. You know, the smaller girls are like, they're old, and they're like, we're not old. We're like a year older than you, ancient. So they look like they're a little. They look little. So you go with
I'll
them.
go with that.
Yeah,
I'll go with the small.
Imrodel, the pickpocket, the one who had the injured foot, although her foot is bound up and it's a lot better healed now. She's sort of in charge of them. as they all high-five you and stuff. You see the dragon go up there, snarling and whatnot, gnashing its teeth. Gnashing. It's a proper way of pronouncing that.
Yeah.
Anyone want to
Gnashing.
tell me I'm wrong? Shut the fuck up.
What?
And what is the action you're taking, Connor? Do one of the 5, since we're in a round.
Yep. Do nada.
Do nada. Very good.
Smart.
Good move. You drop curse down. You guys are at 6 tallies, so you're at the bottom of Murphy's Law.
It's the curse by one.
What's likely to go bad does. Grenades a dud. Baddies already know. That kind of thing. So let's resolve this curse and see how this goes. We'll start with Miller. So resolving the curse will be on you first. Do you want me to roll, or do you want to resolve it?
And that means that if he rolls, it's a 3.
It's a 50-50.
Yeah, it's 50-50.
Yeah, I don't-
Yeah.
Let's just say the girls were arguing, being loud, and they alerted whoever is about to ambush us.
Yep. And what were you gonna say, Connor?
I was just thinking, if was it on 4, then I reduced it down to 3.
No, it was in the
Nada
middle.
reduced the curse by 1.
It was in the middle.
It's in the middle.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was in the middle. It was at 7 and it went down to 6.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome resolve of the curse as we'll say sitting back. Hold on a second. I have to get the door. Just a second. Sorry, guys.
So I think we got a plan here. While he's gone, if you want to chime in on kind of your next plan, I think that would be good. I am doing a huge distraction, so I'm sure they know that we're here as well.
And if one group of kids is making a lot of noise, the other third group, if the dinosaur counts as one, will actually
right.
have a bit of advantage.
As Clem, you sitting back, being able to see all of this, you note that the 2 wagons, they do look like they're broken down, but you don't see anybody. So did they just walk off? Are they in the wagons? They're covered, by the way. Think Oregon Trail. Are they off to the side? It is a little weird. They don't look like they've been in the weather that long. Okay, up front with the take charge, as Bob, you spring out there aggressively, attempting to spring whatever trap there is. Immediately you realize, well, there is a trap. They're in the wagons. As they pour out of the wagons, these bandits. These guys look like a ragtag bunch. Imagine 3 Musketeers mixed with Road Warrior. They're wearing just mismatched clothes that they have taken from people. But they've got like jewelry on. Think of Jack Sparrow pirates. Okay, so they're not just normal bandits. They're successful in some way. As we're going to see how many of these guys there are. Will someone roll me a D10?
Uh-oh.
2. Got 2.
2.
Nice.
Excellent. All right. You got 10 bandits that pop out. It's better than 18.
Yeah.
5 and 5. As they pop out, they have various instruments of killing, clubs, shebas. One will have something that looks mildly Theurgic, as they're like, I just can't think of a good voice. Oh, they're pirates. They jump down and attack you since you were tempted, or since you were trying to spring their trap. You do. So this is Corpus on you to avoid getting split in 2. And you're welcome to attack as well, since you took charge.
Yeah. It's like the dragon roll is kind of like a dragon version of capoeira, you know, and so like it's unpredictable as well. You never know what it's gonna do. So I'm for the most part I'm not attacking in this moment. I'm just springing the
ducking and
the
weaving?
trap. Yeah, ducking and weaving.
So we'll give you a +1 success because you're ducking and dipping and dodging. Threshold on this is 4.
It is 4. I got 4.
You got 4? As you see Bob duck, dip, charge, use his scales to deflect some of the flurry of blows. Some of them are hitting you with it looks like a table leg with like a nail in it. Boop! As it kind of gets stuck in your scale and you swing it around and shove them off. Obviously, all 10 cannot attack you at once, but they're surrounding you as 2 or 3 of them look down the road and, of course, see a gaggle of girls with these towering 2 dudes. They're down there! As a fight is erupting. Okay. What are you all doing? Action is on you.
Take charge, ready the rifle, and as the young kids are running down towards the group, fire over their heads and try and take out one of Bob's assailants.
Just any one of them?
One in the middle, so it'll draw as much attention as possible. Perhaps draw off 1 or 2 from Bob. Okay, so...
All right. I love it. And what are you bidding? Yeah.
I was wrong. I actually had 6 successes on that, not 4.
Oh. Very good.
Sorry.
What'd you say, John? You digitized there for a second.
I'll bid sneaky, though it's not really an ambush anymore. Would I, because it's taking a tactical position, would I use men's or would I have to use corpus?
I think that if you can rationalize it, then you can use whichever one you want.
Well, it's aiming, so it's not really using my body. It's just a case of, I don't know, measuring out the distance, so forth. So it's more calculations than just brute force. So I would go with men's. That's because I've got better dice. But
Indeed.
That's my.
We'll see. We'll give you a little bit of a help since you're doing
completely
sneaky. Since you're doing sneaky. Aiming, keeping the gun steady is definitely a corpus thing, but you can find something to level the gun on, like maybe an outcropping, a rock or something to keep it steady. As you can use men's to.
Yeah, I mean also. Yeah. Right. Okay. Because I was thinking also aiming's not really the issue because it's a large group. So if I miss one.
Yeah, you are
I'll
firing to a crowd.
Another.
That's true.
It's the.
So you're using your brain power on this.
Right. Okay.
You shoot at the thick of it. We'll say 0 successes and you might hit the lizard.
No. Yeah, get one. At least one.
What'd you get, John?
Success.
I think you said 2. You kind of stalled there for me for a second.
Yeah, 2.
Did he stall for you guys, or is that just me?
Yeah, I didn't hear
I lost
anything.
connection.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I can restart my router. For 2. All right. So threshold to hit these guys is 4, but they are unaware of you, and there's also a group of them. So you're gonna get somebody. Have we talked about what that weapon does?
No, I haven't. Also, would I get?
Would you get what?
Oh, I think he's stalled out.
Because I changed my bond from Clem to Bob.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can use your bond.
Right. So, yeah. So I'd give me 3 successes, and
Nice.
I don't think.
Okay.
I don't think Hawkshaw or Odysseus would give me any bonuses. Will it either?
Well, it's up to you. Do you know what Odysseus does?
Odysseus is getting something ruthless done, like trying to solve a situation and doing whatever's necessary. But I was thinking maybe Hawkshaw, which is spotting, but again, it's an ability rather than.
Yeah, it doesn't give any successes, but it can lower the threshold. Okay.
All right.
So this gun, since we haven't used it yet, we did talk a little bit about what the shells are, because you have a finite number of those shells. Those are caster shells. So they're shotgun shells that have something in them, probably spice, right? That orange spice. And a wrapping that has arcane markings that it just looks, it was like sealed, it looks beautiful and dangerous and arcane as you pull the trigger and you smell first the stank of 40,000 years of alchemy and just chemicals go off. This plume of blue purple smoke flies into the air. Horrendous sound. And you hear, or do you feel, is it in the earth? The ancient words that this mage from long ago who crafted this bullet, his voice or her voice or their voice, say it's, you can't tell what gender it is, echoing, thrumming, it sounds like some bad mojo of ill intent. So this is a reflect, making it a heavy weapon. Heavy weapon does a +6 damage, and let me reference the rules really quick. Firearms deal double damage, so deals 12 damage if you hit. You got 2 successes. You definitely hit somebody. So
3.
You needed at least 1, which means you deal an extra. So you're dealing 13 damage.
Right.
All right. Clem, roll me a d6.
Mm-hmm.
As Connor, you aim for the middle, away from the dragon. Bob, you hear this kaboom, and just instinctively with dragon roll, you zig when you should zig. A few of the guys around you zag. What'd you get, Clem? 2. As you see, 2 of the bandits are gone. They're just a puff of blood and hell and intestine all over the place, destroyed.
Nice.
Is Juliana the one who? So, just after this,
Yes.
this all starts to calm down. Just as little aside, because Juliana was the one who I took the gun off, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I'm going to look to her and say, "You were honestly going to try that weapon on one of us?"
It's just, they're all holding their ears, hands over their ears, like, yeah, it's great. All right, so that's Connor. Who else needs to go on this turn? This turn of turns. I think we have both Clem and Bob that need to go because this is round 2.
I'll go with the roleplay action.
Okay. No curse for you. Gain 1 XP.
I'm gonna talk to the group and say, there's a lot more where that came from. You better quit now, or I'm gonna start ripping heads off. Any thoughts, fellas? And still, yeah.
You see the other 8 bandits, specifically one who kind of saddles up. He's got the big boots, the big pirate boots, and he's just a fucking pirate. Has like the jacket, a mustachio, big hat, and he's the one with the gun. And he's just like, "Oi, fuck you, lizard man!" and shoots. "We didn't like them anyway." And he'll attempt to shoot at you. Clem.
Clem is gonna take charge. I'm gonna bid the militaristic trait. I am going to pull out Cursed Wood's gun machine thing.
Oh God.
Load one of the shells.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to add my obsession on that, my obsession with death, because I've seen what this thing can do.
As you do, it charges up. It's like...
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm going to use my bond, too, because my bond is with Connor. And look at us. We're both standing up here shooting guns.
At the dragon.
He's quick. He can get out of the way.
He is quick.
And I would like to use Corpus because I know it's a big thing. I know it's going to kick really freaking hard. I saw what it did, so I'm going to.
It's going to kick
use
hard.
Corpus to hold it as still as I can.
Uh-huh.
And then I'm
You're going to shoot this thing. Okay, I love it. Are you shooting at anything in particular?
Well, I figured if I'm using my militaristic trait, I'm going to try to line it up to get as much death as possible.
Sure. All right. Tell me high or low.
High.
Okay. Roll. That is low. So the main guy, his name is Charlie. He is not in that clump. He's a little more sense to him. He's a little bit back. He's got the gun out, so he will not get hit by this blast. But good group of them will. Go ahead and roll. Oh, and you're doing militaristic that's your bid, right?
Right.
Yeah, I love it. So threshold is 2 to hit the group. I'm sorry, it's 1 to hit the group of people.
All right. Well, I get 1 from my obsession.
Okay, you
And
definitely
then
hit.
2 more. So 3 total.
All right, so 3. I'm gonna throw back. Hey, reptile guy.
Yeah.
We'll have you roll a corpus.
Okay.
Just to make sure you're not zigging when you should zag.
All right. No. I only got. Hold on. Yeah, I only got 1.
All you need is 1. As you hear the Cursed Wood's gun charging up, you've heard it before. As how do you get out of the way?
Well, I was trying to make peace with these guys, and I did tell them that there were more. So I'm doing my capoeira dragon roll zigzags, and I think it's a no-brainer to move away from the clump.
I see. So you move off to the side where the wagon is. As you dive off to the side behind one of the wagons. Whoop, 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 whoop. You'll see even Charlie. He looks up as you move out of the way. He'll see Clem. He's like, "Oh!" and leaps as well instead of shooting at you. Clem. So this gun is a big gun. I want to say it's heavy too.
Yeah, that's the one that melted half the mountain that we were standing on.
It's pretty.
Sure is.
It's a big boy. Let's see. Where are you, Cursed Wood? He's sitting back there like, "Don't use all my ammo."
Yeah, he's
Who's
just
in
behind us, a half mile, listening in. Like, come on, man.
All right, yeah. This is a great weapon. So great weapons do +8 damage. So it does 16. And you got 3 successes?
Yes.
You needed 1, so you get a +2 on top of that. So it's 18 damage. Let's find out how many of these guys get vaporized. There are 6 left Charlie has jumped out of the way, so there's potential of 5.
I thought there were
Hey,
10.
Kip,
So there were.
Yeah, but 4 of them got blasted into, or was it 2?
It was 2.
Oh, 2. Sorry. So there's 8 left. 1, so 7 left. Kip, do you have a D6 handy?
Yeah.
Can you roll it? Roll it.
5.
All right. Clem, I'd like you to describe what happens.
So Clem was back a little bit, kind of up on the hill, and he pulls the device out, says a little prayer to the cowl as he charges it up and puts the charge in it. Feels that kind of a back and forth. The more power he gives it, the more he gives it power. And he aims it like right down the middle. He wasn't even thinking about Bob being there or not. He just saw the big group of guys, big group of people, and he has this machine that will, that will give a big offering to the goddess. Aims it right at the middle, lets loose, and it rips straight through the middle of them. The few of them that managed to survive are blown several feet apart on the ground, smothering their clothing that's caught a bit of fire. The wagon behind them that they jumped out of just splintered, completely destroyed, like a big shotgun through the trees behind it.
Blam! A brilliant flash of white and blue light, like a what are the Protoss beams called? It's like the Yamamoto laser or something. Anyway, this anime style laser beam rips up the road, explodes the wagon. Shit and bullshit flies everywhere as the beam just gets some stamps on it as it goes around the world a couple times. Okay, it fades out eventually. Fire, smoke, girls are on the ground. Holy shit! And 5 of the dudes are gone. So 7 of them are dead. There's 2 lackeys and Charlie, who's picking himself up covered in mud. So he is going to go, as he's just dived out of the way. He pulls his head up, caked, looking around. Boys, get out of here! As he's climbing into the wagon. I'll take care of these fuckers! And he's getting in there, getting something in the wagon. All right. This is the bottom of the round. Resolving the curse will be on John. Right now, you guys are at 8 ticks. So you're on Murphy's Law, yes. The top of Murphy's Law.
Okay.
So I'll give you about 5 seconds.
Oh my god. Pretty bad. I would say that Clem's never used that beast of a rifle before, and as it begins to discharge the empty cap or whatever, that jams.
Interesting. Yeah, I love it.
I mean, how severe does this resolution need to be? Because at that point, it could.
Well, if something can go wrong, it does. It's that kind of thing.
It jams.
Sure.
The capsule,
so jams. It doesn't destroy it, but it jams.
Okay.
As Clem, you're trying to get the cartridge out, and you can't remember how Kirstwood did it, as there's no obvious button, and you can tell the gun cannon is not destroyed. It looks like it's actually working properly, but you don't know how to use it to get the charge up. I like that. That's good. That's a good resolution. Great. As action is on all of you, Charlie has jumped in the wagon. The other 2 are hightailing it, just running off the beaten path, scrambling up, and one's running towards the desert, one's running towards Black Rock. And they can run real fast because it's Murphy's Law. They like put on bandanas, throw off their coats, Wim Hof it. Actions on you all you all. What are you doing?
I'm gonna take charge because I'm right there with this guy jumping
Charles?
I'm gonna jump into the wagon, and I would like to pick him up by his.
You need to see what he's doing.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump in and
you need to see what he's doing first.
and make sure that he is. I'm gonna and I'm gonna use my brutal violence trait to jump in and unencumber him from his.
Start trying to rock and roll.
Yeah.
Okay, as he's jumped in the wagon, you're picking yourself up, Bob, covered in mud. You feel great because you're a lizard.
Yeah.
You swing around, very easily get into the wagon. The wagon like rocks with your weight. Brah, brah. And you see Charlie and what he's doing. Now, I have 3 options for this. We're going to find out which one it is. Who would like to roll a d6?
Yay!
Yay! All right, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So just tell me which one you roll.
We got a 3.
Got a 3, so that's number 2. It's beneficial for you all in the long run. As Bob, you walk in, and you can see in the dark pretty well. You can see heat, but it's dark in here. It's covered. All manner of bullshit is in here. Stolen goods, crates of stuff. It kind of smells like food. Meats, fruits, etc. A bouquet of flowers, whatever. There's also some weapons just sort of thrown in a pile and in a couple of the crates. And you see some minor bits and pieces of Theurgic. In the back, you see Charlie. He's sitting down. He's got something over top of him. It looks like armor. As you rush towards him, he stands up in the armor suit, this Theurgic suit. As you hear the and these lights, diodes, and such, and like alchemical gadgets like twist and bubble, as he takes you head on. He's not as tall as you in the suit, but he's bigger. So go ahead and make your roll. Threshold to get this guy 6.
Wow. All right.
Very high.
Well, I'm going to use my skill sword and board to make him. I'm going to use my leverage and my just sheer force of strength to make him be on the outside of this. I'm going to throw him out. I'm going to pick him up and throw him out.
Okay, sure. So like the combat technique utilized in sword and board, you use that. Yeah. Okay, sure.
And kind of a leveragey thing, and just with every ounce of strength that I have, which is that would be 8. Because I rolled a couple of 8s.
That works. As you guys see the wagon whoop, 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 whoop.
I think it was
as this guy's
7.
thrown out.
Yeah.
Thrown out of the covering, it rips open as you see Charlie in a mech suit, clunk, 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 picking himself up with the hydraulics and stuff. I love it. All right, that's Bob. Well, which one of you wants to go next for an action?
Plym is just going to take the autopilot action and mosey on down the road where the action is.
Because you guys were about to go to Perilous.
Yeah.
All right, so you're in a healthy Murphy's Law as Clem, seeing this gun jammed or whatever, and seeing that the fight's happening, you kind of move around and start continuing down the road. How far are you going? As you're down there, you see one bandit running that way towards the desert, one running that way towards Black Rock, and then you have the road that continues on.
I'm gonna walk all the way down to where our friend is in his mech suit.
Oh yeah, yep. You get all the way down easily. Do you keep on going, or are you just kind of closing the distance?
I'll just close the distance.
Okay. As you get not within fighting range for yourself, maybe 30 feet away with this do nada autopilot. Connor.
Also, do nada.
Mm-hmm.
But as the autopilot would be just simply reloading the rifle. And
sure.
then as I see the mech suit burst out the back of the wagon and roll away, I'm going to move sideways or move parallel to him as I'm reloading, so that when I have an opportunity to actually do something, I can aim and take a shot.
Sure. As with do nada, you're absolutely able to move around, but it's not so tactical because it's not, a take charge. But you close the distance, kind of flanking him with Clem, and you're starting to eject this shell. Thunk, thunk. The shell flies out, smells like burnt spice, which perhaps Connor has smelled before. Do you keep the shell, or do you just let it go on the ground?
I'm doing nada, so I guess I'd have to leave it.
Sure.
I mean, I would like to catch it, but that's more.
Sure, you catch it. You don't have to roll to catch the shell. You're cool as shit. Grab the shell, put that away. Okay. Charles gets up. The obvious assailant is the lizard. As mech arms come up, he's like, I'm gonna get you, as he runs up and attempts to Superman punch you in the dragon face. Okay. So it's threshold 6 to avoid getting slugged.
Do I get any anything? Can I use anything, or it's just a roll?
Well, it's a roll, so it's everything associated with the roll.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
And you can always bid a trait to change it into your favor. So if you fail, it's a degree of success. Failure, if you succeed, it's
I gotcha. Oop. All right. That is
resolving the curse will actually also be on you once we're done with this part.
not a great roll. So I'm going to use my tough cookie ability to help. You know, I'm just all muscles and scales. I've got a very, very raw hide, even though I'm naked. And
You're tough. That's represented by your moments.
Yeah, but still, not enough moments because I only got 3 because I rolled incredibly poorly.
You got 3 successes.
Yeah.
And what is the ability?
Tough cookie.
And what does it do?
I guess it is. It protects me from a lot of damage potentially.
So you don't know. That's what you're saying.
Is it in the book?
You did damage.
Is it in the archetypes?
It's in the archetypes. Yeah.
All right.
Tough cookie. You have grit enough to resist pain, fear, and mental manipulation, the likes of which others would crumble. So if this really hurts,
it really hurts.
Like if your legs are broken, you could still get, It's that kind of thing.
But
You got to get hurt first, Ken.
I'm sure that's true.
All right. So you get slugged. It's a threshold 6. You got 3, so it's extra 3 damage. So 9 damage. Boom.
Yeah. I'm in wounds.
He slugs you directly in the dragon chest. As almost comically, the dragon's hit, and you see the if you've seen Arcane on Netflix, I think the girl with the big
she
boxing gloves. It's like that. As you see this katoon, and the dragon just flies out of the wagon. Dragon rolling down the road.
I would
So
say
you're in
that
woods?
because I used Tough Cookie, I don't get hit back that far. I'm like
Sure,
still
so you
in
take
melee.
some of it. Just,
Yeah, I just take it. You
well,
know?
you're gonna fly out of the wagon, but you're not gonna like fly down the road.
Yeah.
Maybe you can
I just-
grab on.
Yeah, grab it on. If I could use a trait, I would use my claws to grab onto his fist. Maybe.
Sure. So you can bid that and gain a little bit of control as you fly. Your body flies up, but your claws hanging on to his fist kind of drag him a little bit forward, and you guys are tussling in the wagon. Although that does mean he has a hold of you, or do you have a hold of him? All
I
right,
think
so we're
I have
gonna
a hold of him.
resolve. Yeah, let's resolve the curse.
Yeah.
It is on you, but I need
Yeah.
to ask how many moments do you have?
I have 5 moments.
I mean,
No, I
how
have
many
7.
moments do you have left?
Oh, I have -2 moments.
Okay. Reaching 0 inflicts 1 wound. Damage thereafter inflicts more. This means
Or
a character.
-1
I'm reading
if
my rules.
0 counts as 1.
This means that a character with 3 moments takes 6. Let's see. Okay. Give me just a moment, y'all. Think about the curse you're going to inflict.
I got it.
Okay, so it rolls over. So you take 1 wound for going to 0, and how many over are you? You had 5 moments,
Just-
7.
No, I had 7 moments, and then I was at 7. Men's.
Oh, you were at
corpus, and so
Yeah,
that,
yeah. You were at 7 and you took 9 damage,
9.
right?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so
But-
it rolls over by 2, which means you have a wound from going to 0. Goes over by
Yeah.
2, so you have 3 wounds right now.
Oh, 3.
As in, this like messed up your chest real bad.
Yeah.
All right. How do you resolve the curse?
I'm gonna say that because I used my claws on this mech machine, that acid starts coming out, like a poison toxic acid starts coming out of the mech suit, which makes anything that touches it more dangerous.
Okay. So it's like spilling like almost
Yeah,
like
spewing
oil.
kind of
but this-
acid
this-
around, and caustic fluid.
Sure. Yeah. So we'll say on one of the gloves, like you ripped some of the alchemical tubing, and it's alien style, like.
And maybe it's
spraying out.
not because the suit's not been damaged too much, but maybe this is just some circumstance. At this point, it's not.
Yeah, it's Murphy's Law.
It's
Makes
not going to
sense.
hurt the ability of the suit necessarily right now in the fight that we're in, but anybody who gets too close to it in melee, hence me,
Including you. Right.
may have that issue.
Okay. All right. So bottom of the round. So we actually get to use. We're going into testing a rule. So that's the bottom of the round. Curse is resolved. Top of the round. At the top of every round, or immediately when you take a wound, including the first. A character with wounds must make an aspect roll. So, technically, we're at the bottom of the round. Bob, you need to make a corpus roll or a men's roll. Since you were using that ability of Tough Cookie, I'd allow men's.
Yeah.
You could even argue Animus if you wanted to. But this is to resist slump. Threshold is 3.
Right.
Because that's how many wounds you have.
And then that would be, I got 4.
Okay. As you are tough as shit, resisting slumping over, but it is obvious to anyone who sees him, which now, there's a big hole in the covered wagon, that the dragon, he's got something broken. Like he's standing, which is extremely impressive because like part of his chest is like caved. All right, top of the round, assuming we're going into rounds. So what are you guys doing? If we go into rounds, you make another roll against slump. Otherwise, it's all up to you guys. Action's on you.
Do nada again. I was going to take a shot.
Okay. So this is a round?
Yep. But because Bob and Charlie are actually in, like, they're now grappling each other, I won't take that shot. So that's me doing nada. Reduce the curse by 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're still at Murphy's Law, but we're at the bottom of it. As Connor, you kind of sit back. You've got your gun loaded, but they're in mortal combat. Clem.
Go ahead. I was gonna.
Oh, it's up to you guys.
I was gonna take charge. I was gonna take charge and rip this guy's head off, if I can. Okay. I'm all starry-eyed. I'm hurting, but I'm gonna bid my name, Bob Baker, to cut
Bob
this
Baker.
this guy, rip off his,
All right. Before you do it, since it's the top of the round, make that resist against slump again, and the threshold is 3.
All right, gotcha. Let's make sure I'm rolling the correct number of dice. Oh, here we go. That's 1. That's 2, 3, 3.
Nice. As resisting it, feeling, there are bones in your dragon body, maybe like ingrown scales that are stabbing you as you move around. Like you can tell you're hurt, like kind of bad. As growling, take your action.
Yeah. I'm just gonna try and rip this guy asunder. Use all my strength to tear him apart.
Give him the old.
Got my claws out, and I'm like opening a
double rake attack.
Opening a tin can.
All right.
And can I use sword and board again?
It doesn't. I don't see it immediately making sense. Because you're using claws and are kind of going wild, like an animal.
Yeah.
But how could you make it make sense?
Well, I could use leatherworking. I have a keen idea of how armor.
I think sword and board works better than that.
Oh, you think sword and board? Okay.
If you're using leatherworking to do something, with
I'm
going to
use the leatherworking to rip his, the connections of his helmet from his body. So that's why leatherworking would, and I would get in there with my claws, and if his head went with it, that would be.
So it would be either you're trying to dismantle his suit, or you're trying to attack him.
Okay. Well, I'll remove his head. I'll try to remove his head. So sword and board to just try to go deep into his, it's a strength.
I'll allow it because you're fucked up. It doesn't make a lot of sense, but I
don't know. I'm in a frenzy.
Doesn't really make sense.
I don't think that there's a lot of sense being made with Bob either. I think he's at the edge of life, and he's in a frenzy. He's in a frenzy. A frenzied state.
All right, the sword and ward doesn't work. It doesn't make sense.
Okay.
It doesn't make sense at all. It doesn't make sense at all. No.
I think if you can buy a trade later on, I would get the trade.
Yeah, if you picked up one of the swords right there, then yes.
Oh, yeah.
One of the swords and the shield that I described, that would work.
Well,
but not your claws. And
I mean, I do
like
have
a wild animal is not going to work.
Okay, I got you. Well, I do have a sword. I guess I'll take my sword out and try
You
and
could use your weapons.
yeah, do that. I'll use my sword.
All right. So you push him off, pick up a shield, break out a sword, clang, clang, and actually go knight on him. Fine.
Yeah,
you can
yeah,
use
right.
it.
It's fine. It's fine. That's fine. I'm just rolling like garbage. That is 5 to hit him.
So what I'm going to say here is because you resolve the curse with the acid and it damages his suit, we'll take his threshold down to 5. I think that makes sense because you're going to get some acid shit on you probably by doing this. So as you do hit him, that is a medium weapon, unless you're using, like a knife or something.
My yeah,
So it's
I
plus
think
4
it's
damage.
a heavy weapon is my sword. Oh no,
You have
it's a medium.
that'd be a really big sword. Okay.
Yeah, it's a medium.
So it's 4 damage as you stab him. Now, technically, targeted shots work a certain way. You stab this dude with the sword, as it definitely cuts him. He'll twist. He knows how to fight. He doesn't just stand there and let you stab him in the throat. As he twists and pushes off the blade, but you see a huge gash on his chest that you've caused. All right. That is Bob, and the rest of you already went with do nadas, right? Or have you gone yet? You haven't gone. Okay.
No, Clem hasn't gone yet. Clem is going to take charge.
Clem takes charge.
I'm going to take charge. I'm going to bid rude and crude. I'm going to use my abilities smashing stuff and my skill impact daddy. And so while he was walking down, he put the gun away and slowly pulled out his hammer. And he looks over at this, alchemical suit, beating the hell out of his friend through the side of this
Wagon.
rubber cart wagon. And he'll line up his shot right into the guy's ass and blast it as hard as he can.
All right. So he's attacked twice this round. So his threshold goes from 5 down to 4. So it was 6. Bob, you damage his suit, goes down to 5. So that's what it is. So if I say 6, remind me it's 5. He's attacked once. So you hit threshold 4 to hit him in the ass, right in the coccyx.
Right. What does my ability do? Does that give me anything extra?
So all the ability does is allow you to do certain things. So things that, you can kind of change the narrative in that way. And what is the ability? Impact Daddy?
Smashing stuff.
Smashing stuff.
Impact Daddy is
So
a skill.
are you trying to break something? For example, with Impact Daddy, you could be like, So with smashing stuff, you could be like, oh, well, I want to break that part of the suit and disable it.
Right.
Oh,
Right.
okay. Well, you can do that because you have the ability. Or I want to break his back. All right. Well, that's a totally different thing. Like, you know how to do it.
Yeah, I want to try to break his pelvis.
Go for it. Threshold 4.
All right.
It's 2.
5.
Wham! As you hear, ooh! An inhuman sound from a human mouth. Is this a medium weapon?
I believe so.
Or is it a heavy weapon?
Heavy weapon, big hammer.
Okay, so that is a plus 6 damage. You beat it by once. You deal 9 damage to his poor pelvis, to the iliac crest. Ugh! Wow. Yeah. So as you break this dude's, it's like that moment where it connects, freeze frame. You see a skeleton go, His pelvis breaks into like 3 pieces. His spine's like, flies off. And he's like, convulsing. Bob, you see Charlie underneath his mustachio just foaming at the mouth. His eyes are bugging out. His dick's hard as he's just like sitting there like, flying around. Suit spewing acid as this dude is not doing well. He's not doing well. Connor?
Is this a new round?
Nope.
So
bottom of the round, we need to resolve the curse. Technically, it's on Clem to resolve the curse.
How about the girls that were in the 2 different groups? They went chasing after the guys.
Absolutely.
And they're never going to catch them, but they're certainly going to get lost out in the wilderness.
Yeah, I love it. And at present, it's Murphy's Law. So, of course, they run in 2 different groups, and they're lost for a little while. So it's going to slow you guys down. I love it. All right. Bottom of the round. Bob, resist slump. I think you're muted, by the way.
I gotcha. Let's see if I can do it. That is 5 again.
Nice. As you're sitting there, kind of maybe sit down. Charlie is out of his mind. He's in complete pain, and he's dying. Like, he's bleeding on the inside. He's in the suit. He can't use his legs. He's just sitting there, literally slumped over, drooling out of his mouth, going the way of the dodo. So we're out of rounds. We're in the world. And we're going to take a break. So we'll take like a 5-6 minute break.
Yep.
Fantastic.
We'll be back in a moment. Stay tuned.
Flask of healing salve, right?
Yep. Welcome back. This is the Geeky Gamer Podcast, Indie Live Play RPG podcast. Thanks for joining us. We're back in. Okay.
Yeah, we're back. Clem, you have it's the flask of healing salve, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So as you use it, when applied, it restores 1 wound every application. And how that happens, I mean, that's, it's magic.
I do
magic
have
alchemy.
I do have a quick question about wounds. So I got 9 damage, and I had 7 moments. Why do I have 3 wounds?
Because you get a wound by going to 0.
Okay. So
No matter what, you will take 1 wound.
Okay.
And then anything over adds to it.
Okay.
So it's a little confusing, but the idea is if you think of 0 as a number, it makes sense.
0 goes to -1.
Yeah. Well, no, 0 doesn't go to -1. You could think of it like that, but that's not what it is. It's let's say you have 10 hit points, 10 moments. Let's say you take 10 damage. Do you have a wound? Yes, you have a wound because you went to 0.
Right.
Let's say you took 11 damage. Well, you have 2 wounds because you went to 0 plus 1. That's the way of the thinking. You could think of it differently, but that's the way that the rules are supposed to be thought out. Does that work? Well, we are beta testing.
Yeah, we shall see.
Maybe not. I don't know. I think it's heinous. The original wounds, you only ever took 1 at a time because I thought it was too deadly. But then I was like, fuck them.
That's the spirit.
And that's the way you should be. That's the way all GMs.
Well, it's the idea of like, you really, player agency is a pretty big deal, but the game is just deadly. It's just deadly. Yeah. You know, there's a point where, you know, there's the fantasy thing, like fantasy armor. Like I have a cod piece of justice and I just go into fights and fight dragons. In Cursed, you don't do that. I mean, you die if you do. Maybe you get out of it. Then you have a really cool story. But like if somebody's an armored knight, they're like all, you know, they got the gambeson and the whole full plate, and you have none. Don't fight them. Because they're gonna win. They're gonna win against you.
I wasn't expecting to fight a mech.
Oh no, I'm not talking about Bob. Yeah, that was actually a rather equal fight in a lot of ways. Not when you had Clem and Connor there.
Yeah, I was gonna say it wasn't equal because there's more of us. Alive still. Because they murder killed a bunch of people in like 2 rounds.
You all were in trouble. You were in a lot of trouble, but you took it out. Okay, so we start. It's pretty obvious to all that the dragon is very injured. He's coughing up. What color is Buteau blood?
I think it's green. I'm gonna go with
green blood.
It's like fluorescent green.
I dig it, like the Predator. And Charlie is there in the mech. It's kind of doing this as maybe like the right glove is just all the hydraulic fluid is gone out of it. It's dead. The left one could be used potentially. The mech itself, the suit, is jacked up beyond all belief. Maybe you could jury rig like bits and pieces of it for armor. But as a mech, it's unusable. And Charlie is dying. So we're in the world. It's on you. You guys, the girls are coming up as they're like, oh, that was great. And they're, you know, talking to you guys. We'll say 3 or 4 of them are there. The rest of them have gone off, as Clem said, in the wild. We'll say that Imrodel and Juliana, the 2 captains, are sitting there like, that's great. Oh, fuck, we got to go get the girls as they start running off. And maybe Juliana will come up to you, Clem, and say, I'm going to round up the girls. I don't know how long it'll take. We can meet you up ahead, though.
That sounds good.
As they scatter. So the girls have run off. And they have RUOFNFT, whatever.
As they're running off, I'm going to say, yell out, don't forget we got these carts full of stuff. It's so...
We won't forget. Don't take our share. Okay, action's on you guys.
So Clem will go over to Bob and try and help him out of the wagon.
Okay.
Nice.
What happened here? Looks like you got the better of you.
You saw me get hurt a little on the insides, and I'm gonna use that moment to sit back. Bid the action. Sit back.
Love it.
I think I might be dying.
Go ahead and make your animus roll.
Yeah.
Since we're in a round, what actions do you guys take?
William is going to use the healing salve. Can I do that as an autopilot? Or do you want me to roleplay it?
I think it makes sense as autopilot. I think it's obvious. It doesn't take a lot of skill to use these things. And I mean, I could make it a take charge, but I don't. You're not under any duress right now. So I think it's okay.
All right. I'll go ahead and use the 3 to get all your wounds gone.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Just as a feeling, there for a moment, there is this perilous atmosphere of maybe you guys made a lot of noise and maybe there were reinforcements on their way. Like the Olo's camp was like just over the dune or something. But as you're using those, the healing salve, maybe that feeling was just an anxious feeling. So you guys are in Murphy's Law right now.
What I was going to do was, I haven't gone down, maintain my vantage point, but seeing the others rush off, I'm going to hurry up to a higher vantage point.
Okay.
To get a
There's some
better
rolling
idea.
hills, or you can get on the wagon because you're kind of in the flat at the point.
Is there no? Oh, wait,
There's some rolling hills. You're still on the rolling
I'm
hills,
gonna head up
but
towards.
you're
I want to get to a vantage point to see what is going on. See if I can spot where just so I can get a lay of the land. See if I can see where the girls have run off, the other girls who are pursuing them. Keep an eye on those two and just see exactly what is going on. And Hawkshaw is an ability that help me. If there is something to be spotted, and I get into the position to see it, I will see it.
Yep. What action are you taking?
I was going to do a roleplay, lonely as it is, but just a case of
I think you
scene.
Oh, and what was the action? What was the one of the 5? It blipped out.
Roleplay.
Roleplay. Awesome. So you get an XP?
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Totally cool.
I don't want to increase the curse, and I would love to get rates back, but the curse is high enough.
Sure.
And I'm doing something passive.
As Connor, this actually works out really well. Clem, you're sitting there applying the wound salve. How do you do that, Clem? Like, can you describe it?
So he helped Bob Baker down onto the ground, and he's sitting there next to him as Bob's laying on the ground. Just slowly taking a little bit out and rubbing it on the wound, kind of meditatively.
Yeah, we'll say that it sizzles, and maybe you've seen the priests of the cow do this kind of thing. Does Clem have any kind of triage or medicinal battlefield type thing?
No.
Well, now you do. As you will have a skill. You can name it what you want. It could be triage. It could be battlefield medicine. Whatever. But you'll have that for taking this time to do this. As the Zunths, so Bob, you're sitting there maybe like propped up against the wagon, feeling this happen. It hurts and all these things as you feel the bones on the inside stitching back together with the alchemy in an advanced rate. And why are you able to deal with this? You are a tough cookie, and you can actually sit there and just kind of like grumble to yourself. Clem, I can't tell you how you feel, but as you're doing this and you see this horrible wound that Bob has, and he doesn't make a sound, you can tell it's an impressive feat that he's sitting there not moving, allowing it to happen. Perhaps you gain respect or whatever. Or maybe he's a threat, whatever you want to do. Connor, go on. Connor, as you trek up, so this is the lay of the land since you have described your character doing this. Off to the left, so here's the main road, and there's some hills on the left and right that obscure vision, right? So think of rolling hills. Think of Ireland, okay? As you get down the road a little bit, to the left, the hills give way to flats, and you see how the grade is kind of going up into the high desert, okay? But you could see for a long distance. There's some little like rivulet type things, and there's some terrain that people could hide behind. It's not completely flat, but very, very flat. You see the girls running. They're like a mile or two away, like, and beyond them, that one dude, there's like a little roadrunner dust cloud. He's like, you see like his scarf flying in the wind, dust devils off in the distance miles away. Seeing that far, there is a river several miles that way. You guys eventually going down the road will cross that river. Pretty obvious. Way off to the distance, vision is a little bit obscured by the fog of war, and I don't want to describe the entire world as maybe there's a haze of a storm off in the fields of Grand Glen is what that place is called. You know that there are some towns that way, 20 miles and such. It's not a vast wasteland. When you get into the high plains of Sut, you know, the girls, they're going to stop before they get into that. It's a desert, right? Like a painted desert type thing. So that's where they are.
We need to go through Sut, don't we? We're
when you go south, you will go into Sut. Yep. When you look off to the west, so to your right, more of the rolling hill terrain, and it gets down into a valley and Black Rock. Black Rock is half a day's travel from here, so it's a mountain right there. It's a lonely mountain, right? So boom. As you're sitting there waiting, you see over the hill, the girls, it's grassy and such. Maybe at 2 or 3 hills away, that guy, he's like turning back, shooting a gun or something, way too far away. The distant rapport. So that's where they are. It is pretty obvious that catching up to them is possible, but it's a huge detour. And you'll have heard Clem and Juliana talking that they will meet you down the road. They're going to come in behind you, likely. Okay, beyond that, down the road. So you can see pretty well from this vantage point. The road goes over the hills, curves around a little bit. You can see just the end where there's a bridge and where the river is, a few miles down the road. Turn towards Black Rock. There is a town. Does Connor know what the name of it is? That's up to you. Do you know it?
Probably cartography is one of my traits.
As you know, that town is called Verda Montagna. Which
Montagna, right? Okay.
Yeah, so it means green mountain is what it is.
Okay.
So Verda Montagna is over there. They are allied with the Western Kingdoms, but they're a border town between the Western Kingdoms, this province, and Westic, which is the southern province. There's an armistice there. You guys are not particularly friends, but it's not dangerous. So that's sort of a border town. And that's the closest bit of civilization. It's about a day away.
Half a day to Black Rock. Close, only a couple of miles away from Desert Stud.
If you want to get to the mountain, about half a day. You keep on going around, and you'll get to Verda Montagna, the town, so about a day. Keep on going on the road, you're going to get here in just like half an hour or something to the river. Beyond that...
Do I see any...
Go on.
Do I see any other activity? Campsites?
Not really.
People on
Not really. Far distant, like on the horizon, you see the mighty mountain range of Azraelia, the Azraelian Mountains. This is a holy site. It's way far away. Maybe a week's walk. Beyond that, it's the river, and you start to not be able to see because of the hills and the terrain. And this might be the thought. Where in the gods' names is this Eye of God mountain? You know, it is a mystical place that no one's ever been able to find. Because there ain't a mountain. So where do you go?
Yeah, based on from this vantage point, as I'm looking around, pick up the book, the papers that guides us to what's left of the mountain, and try and work out exactly where it could be.
I love it. As we pop out of rounds, we're going to resolve the curse. It is actually on Connor. It's a 50-50 shot right now. And you guys can discuss. He just gets the last word. Give you 5 seconds.
I mean,
It seems like that guy gets away, right? If, you know.
both of the survivors escape and managed to report to who sent them
Whomever.
out that there was a group of people. Charlie could.
They double
still
back
have
and
no idea.
link up with some people. Yep,
Mhm.
that
Do
makes
I see them?
complete sense.
Did I
No.
see them double back? Right. Okay.
Nope. All right, so as in that will happen in the future. All right,
Right.
it's in the world. As you guys are tidying up, we can montage where you're together or you're able to talk. Actions on you all.
Looking at the map that I've got from the vampire, is there any idea of where particular we need to go to? Where is this ruined mountain?
As you look at this
Gil-
map, as maybe
Gil said, I was going to say,
no, go on, hit it.
I think Gilgal said that we need to go towards that black mountain over there, that menacing looking thing, and not stay in the shadows too much. But it's that direction. We got like 4 days left or something. You know, as we head in that way, that, you know, there's some kind of abomination where we're headed when the.
Are you going to be okay to travel? Because
I mean,
we're about half a day away, but if
I got-
traveling at that speed is going to make your wounds worse,
I
do we
got one
wait
hit
a couple
point. Whatever that means. I think I need to get some armor. I think that would help me a little bit, and maybe rest
or just
in
stay
the
at the
cart.
back line?
Do what?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Or just stay at the back of combat, not at the front line.
I like being at the front. I think that's kind of fun.
Okay.
I wonder if I could take some of this armor we got splayed out, maybe graft it to my skin somehow. Maybe work on this.
We can see if there's any in this wagon here. There's a lot of crap in
But
there.
as you walk in there, and in fact there is armor that they've stripped off various people and whatnot. I mean, they weren't like robbing knights, right? There's not like a plate armor in there, but there'll be some mail as well as some leathers if you want to cobble together something. Clem, as you're sort of looking at the suit that Charlie is now dead in, he has shat himself, just standing there. It's still moving slowly, with that acid drained out and burning through the bottom of the wagon. You see that you might be able to cobble together something out of that too. There's a myriad of weapons, some supplies in here as well.
Do I need to take charge to put together a suit of armor with some of this, or can I do it in the world?
Yeah, you can do it in the world.
I would like to use my leather working ability to start cobbling. Are there horses and stuff? Can we move these wagons at all?
So there are no horses here,
Yeah.
which further made it just odd.
Yeah.
It's like the wagons were pulled here. They took off the wheels of one of them, and we're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, we're broken down." But there's no horses.
So we can't move these wagons at all. We just kind of strip and take what we can
One
carry.
of the wagons is no more. It's gone.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I gotcha.
And on fire in the field across the way.
Yeah.
And it's not the one that's left. It's not like one of those clockwork ones like the girls had, is it? Okay.
No.
What else is
No,
in this
it was horse drawn. Huh?
What else is in the wagon?
So, what do you want to find? Because they had a myriad of things. What are you looking for? Anything in particular, or you just want to look?
Papers, books, any sort of information. Like
Okay,
who originally owned the wagon, or
Sure.
who these guys work for, anything like that.
As Connor, you're looking through some, well, they're not really books, but some papers and scrolls and such that have been sort of like shoved in a box. These guys were not particularly tidy or organized, but there is a sort of method to the madness. Meanwhile, Bob, you're undoing part of these straps and trying to cobble together some armor. You will be able to get some chain, some mail armor, which gives you, it's all written in the book.
I think it's
And
4.
what is the plus ones? Is it 4?
Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah, mail gives you plus 4 moments. As you kind of have like a brigandine type thing going on.
Okay.
Clem, what are you doing as they're searching?
I think Clem is going to search the cart also, but he's looking for Theurgy. They obviously had some, so he's going to tear apart everything looking.
All right, let's make some rolls, man. So, everyone roll a D100, and Kip, if you have a D100, then roll it. Because why not?
96.
Ooh.
96.
I don't know if that's good or bad.
You find a lot of money, which makes sense. There's a treasure chest. You could carry it if you wanted. It has a lock on it, of course. It is within the chest, so that the key is there. You see this fine leather pouch from some noble, some Aristasi is what they're called. So aristocrat Aristasi. And it's full of coins, as in like proper coins. So a week's worth of labor. And we'll say 1 gem, which is worth 100 coins.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a larger coin. It's called a gem. It has gems inlaid in it. And that in and of itself is worth 100 weeks of labor.
Wow.
So you're rich, is what I'm saying.
Yep.
How many coins? Roll a D100. We'll see how many coins are in there. Loose change to the Aristasi.
Kip, you want to roll that 100 for me?
87. So
Good roll.
So you almost have 2 gem. Yeah, you could go home if you wanted. Let's go buy an airship real quick and.
I've got to raise an army to retake my homeland.
That's right.
be
You
pricey.
just got all the money you need to do so. Right, or at least a small army anyway. Yeah, so you see this little box. Do you hide it, or are you just kind of like, "Hey guys, we're rich"? Because you see Connor looking around. Do you smuggle this box, or does Connor see it, Clem?
Or does Hawkshaw out the corner?
Well, that's what I'm asking. That's what I was.
Well,
No. If it's
Do you
clean
prison
enough
pocket
point,
this, or
I
how
can
do you do
see.
it?
No, I was going to, and I think Clem would have, but he's got a bond with Connor. So I think because of his bond, he's definitely going to let him in.
So we'll say, Connor, as you're looking around, you notice Clem kind of acting a little weird, like he's
I'll hear the
hiding
coins.
something. But then he looks over, seeing you. You guys maybe have a look as you see he doesn't hide it from you for that bond. Doing Hawkshaw. We're gonna find some stuff. So what did you roll for your D100?
62.
A 62. Well, you find a faded map to an ancient temple hidden beneath the mountains. Wonder what that is. As you pull up this thing and it's like, Eye of God. It'll be
What were the odds of that?
1 in 100. So it'll be loads of cobbled together information. You can tell just the different handwritings because you have Hawkshaw and your cartographer. This is an ancient map that has been added to. Whatever Aristasi convoy they took out, they probably got some Theurgists or some mystics as captives. And it dawns on you, Connor, Olo is looking for the Eye of God. Now, you may have heard a little bit about that from Cursewood, but now you know. And there's this map that kind of shows, it doesn't show where it is, but it shows, through tried and true measures, where could it be? And there's a few locations they've literally dug out and searched, and it's all through Reach and everything. One of them is around about the high plains of Sut, which Gelgal was talking about. And we'll get into those calculations here in a second. What did you roll, Bob?
I rolled a 31, and I think I received a slingshot with some rocks.
Yeah, you have a slingshot with some small, smooth stones.
Yeah.
See how many stones you got. Clem, will you roll a d12, please?
There you go.
These small, smooth stones. I mean, you can pick up any stone, but these are. You have 4 of these nice stones. We'll say that they are not Azraelian, azure color. At first, maybe you even think they're jewels, but they're not. As you look at them in the light, you see that they have runes on them.
Oh, wow.
All right, and Kip, did you roll a d100? If so, let me know what you rolled.
42.
42, that's the answer.
That's meaning life.
Exactly.
Holy shit. As Bob, you're the only one not looking. Maybe you're out. Maybe you've taken all the leather working and such, and you're making your armor out on a stone. As you hear this, as one of their fucking horses is eating grass, rolling up outside. As you see a noble steed who's not young, but still has it, walk up.
Well, that's
I
convenient.
love it. I love it. It's Murphy's Law, which means it's not necessarily bad stuff. So we're gonna have a fate roll. No, we've already rolled for the D100. We're gonna see how many horses. Because why not? It's Murphy's Law. We'll roll a D6. We'll have Kip do it and see if there are any. There's at least one more horse.
We got 4.
You rolled a 4?
Yep.
All right, so you have 5 horses. As it turns out, how does this make sense? I don't know. I was thinking the horses that they had, they just let off and they were out to feed and they came up. But there's 5 of them. So where does your horse come from? We'll start with Connor.
field. Oh.
Fucking wild
Yeah,
horse.
I mean,
Cool.
yeah,
Clem.
I mean, kind of rolling hill.
We'll say Clem's horse was one of the ones from a traveling guard, one of the guards that was traveling that got when it got ambushed by these guys, and it ran off during the ambush, and then it found its friends again when they were out in the fields eating, and then they let him back.
I love it. I love it. So there's a few horses there that were the previous owners. So they would have saddles and the whole business. Probably like Westmark, so Western Kingdoms, emblems, and blood. Lots of blood all over the place. I don't know if the Buteau rides a horse, but you do see this noble steed, and it kind of comes up to you and snorts. All right. As for Theurgy, looking around, sort of ramshackle stuff. Clem, roll me a d6. Connor, roll me a d12, please.
I'll roll 2d6.
Yep. And Bob, please roll me a d6. You say you got a 2?
I got a 10.
Clem? Yep.
Yeah.
Clem, you find... Wow, that's pretty wild. Yeah, that's actually good. You find 2 vials of this dark purple liquid, and they are labeled because people in this world label their shit. It's a strong skull and crossbone. So you have 2 vials of strong poison. What poison does in this game is it deals damage, it kills. What did you get, Connor? Say it again.
I got a 10.
10. Clem, as you're rifling through, surely there's some Theurgy in here. You see some some tools, some like a tool set of like screwdrivers and maybe a Theurgic tool set, so clamps and little mittens to deal with elixir stuff. Is it particularly useful by itself? I don't know, but it's a little toolkit for handling alchemical things. And as you're looking around, there's no real weapons that you see beyond mundane weapons. Until, looking over, you see this. It looks like a bottle of Chambord. You know what Chambord is?
No.
It looks like this. Right? It's a little bit bigger, and it's made of metal, and the top of it has runic writing on it, and it can twist. And as it twists, it clicks. Click, 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 click. Do you tool around with it? It's a little bit heavy. And if you shake it, like something rattles inside.
Oh yeah, Clem's gonna open it up.
As you kind of try to open it, right, and you're clicking, messing around, you see that it's not got dials, but like the bottom can kind of move. There's a seal, but you can't break it, as hard as you might try. Maybe there's bolts in there or something. It's some kind of Theurgy. Specifically the top moves with those dials. Using Hawkshaw, Connor, you look over and see he's definitely tooling with something that is dangerous.
Yep. Stop. Put it down. Put it down.
I'll just hand it right over to him.
As
gently take it off him.
As he hands it over,
It's not ticking or anything like that, is it?
it is ticking. It is absolutely ticking.
Right, I am making a sharp exit out of the wagon. Just run. Is the ticking getting quicker, slower, louder?
No, it's just going click, 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 click.
Right.
Like a watch.
Run away from the wagon. Put it off to one side, and then run back to the wagon.
All right. As you guys go back, Bob, you're outside. You see this display. You see the human Donna, like, run past, sit this thing down, run like the Dickens past you again. And you all wait. Nothing really happens. You hear distant, though, muffled. Click, 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 click. That's just still clicking.
Clem, did it actually say anything on it? Since everything else seems to be labelled.
It had some runes on it. I didn't really look.
I'm not going anywhere near that thing, in case it does go off. Because we do have a grenade. But I'm guessing it's a bit more advanced than what we've got.
What are you guys going on about? You want me to go look at something, figure it out for you?
No.
I'm real smart.
No.
I do smart things. No. Really smart things.
You've already killed an old man. No, it's fine.
I can hand it to the next old man.
Connor, the clicking stops. Ting, and makes like a metal, almost like a bell, like a dull bell sound. Ding, and nothing happens.
Slowly, cautiously approach the mysterious item of
like
death.
a dud firework as you walk up to this thing, and
I'll get a branch as well.
Huh?
Long stick, and I'll get a branch or anything like a long stick and just prod it.
Yeah, you prod it a couple times. As you do, it goes click, 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 ding.
As soon as it starts clicking, I'm reverse. I will move back. As soon as it starts doing anything, I'm...
As roll either Animus for a gut feeling or Mens to kind of figure this out, or like maybe you've seen something like it before in like one of your books.
Oh, wow. 5 success.
Jesus. Was that Mens or Animus?
Yeah. That's Mens. I've got 3d8.
Yeah. As you're looking at it, and you could have swore you've seen this like in an illuminated manuscript. Like this is a piece of Theurgy that no one really knows how to make anymore, but there are enough of them that like nobles might have it, like in their private armies and such. As you realize, it is a holy hand grenade.
Nice.
Maybe not from Antioch, but it's definitely the holy hand grenade. It is a great weapon, so it deals +8 because it's considered Theurgy. It'll be, I believe, 16 damage is what it deals automatically.
But you have to say the right words. These shall not count.
Oh, no, sorry. It's an explosive, so it deals ×3.
Oh, wow.
That's a 24 damage right off the bat.
Yeah, you should totally give that to me. I think that'd be good. Just holding on to that.
The thing is, though, it's a dud. It's a dud. So and I was rolling to see if it had a curse on it, which it did roll curse. Since it's Murphy's Law, literally one of the descriptions is the grenade is a dud. It will go off eventually, but there's a curse roll to see if it does.
Well, I'm not picking that up then.
Yeah.
That can.
Well, you gotta twist it. You gotta turn.
No, I'm not touching it.
Oh, fine. No, don't carry it.
No. Actually, no. I might bury it though. I don't want just some random person.
Is that as good?
Get some shrapnel.
God clearly did not want you to go that way.
Yeah.
That'll be in a later game. You bury it. All the parties like, let's go over this way. Let's go this way.
I accidentally make the first landmine.
All right.
All right.
As the day wears on, it's about noon. The girls are gone. They're out. What are y'all doing? Bob, you have made your male armor, your brigandine.
Cool. Can we get these horses hooked up to this wagon so we can take it with us? Let Bob rest.
It's pretty obvious the wagon was not actually broken. You just put the wheel back on and hammer the little peg in. And yeah, other than the acid damage and part of the tarp being busted out, the wagon can go.
Yeah, I'm gonna crawl up into a little ball in the back of the wagon and kind of
You lizard up.
just like.
What do you guys do with Charlie? Or is he still like...
I was gonna remove his armor and use some of that as.
You remove all of it. Yeah, you remove some of it.
Yeah, I
there's
was
still the
gonna
glove.
remove what I can to like the whole thing. I use my leather working because that thing was stronger than any armor that I'd ever experienced in the past, and use my leather working skill to like unassemble it and kind of try to construct something with that and whatever else I could find as armor.
Yeah. So you've made your brigandine out of it. As for the Theurgic aspect, you've no idea how it works.
Sure.
But you have a bunch of like Theurgic bits and pieces, like that could potentially be made into something. And you have the glove as well.
Yeah.
What do you do with his body?
I got the Nintendo Power Glove for dragons.
You have the Nintendo Power Glove.
Which was super shitty. I guess I need a Theurgist. Connor. Connor. And we needed that guy, I think.
Which guy?
The shitty one.
Which one?
The cursed one. He would have known about this shit, unless you think Ichabod. Do you know anything about this? I take that as a no.
You're asking Ichabod?
Ichabod.
It's a good question. Where is Ichabod? We'll say Ichabod is way down the road. He had like stopped to take a couple shits. He's like, I'll catch up, guys. As he's like finally walking up, you hear him ding, da ding, ding, da ding, ding, da ding, ding, da ding, soft music as he slowly makes his way. As he comes up, seeing the exploded wagon, the dude that's like half of his ass is broken. He's covered in shit. And he's dead off the side of the road in a ditch with a mustachio. He's like, Pink.
That's
wow.
actually. Yeah.
I see you all met some people on the road.
Yeah. I got his armor. It smells pretty good. I think he's been eating fennel.
God. Fennel grows naturally in this part of the world. Were you asking me a question, my lizard friend?
Do you know anything about Theurgic?
Let me check my notes. Just a moment. Clem, you get the horses tied up. Are you going like 5 horsepower on this bitch? Or are you like just doing like 2? Are you trying to do like multiple horses or how? How are you doing it?
Let's just do the 2, and then I can lead the other ones behind, and then I can ride one.
Okay. Let's see.
Connor can ride one too, I guess, if you want.
Audience.
And give Anna or Juliana, whoever's the
Well, they're not
senior.
there, but you can keep the horses when
None
you
of
find them.
none of the girls
No.
returned.
Nope.
They're out.
All your NPCs are run off. RUNOFT.
Run off.
Ichabod says, well, actually, I know a little bit about it. I've seen things before. No, not quite like this. As he like holds up like a spring. He's like, I think this thing can go into this thing. And you see he has esoteric knowledge of it.
Why don't you
I might
sit
be
in the
able to
back
cobble
of
them
this?
together or something.
Yeah, why don't you sit in the back of this little trolley with me, and we'll fix it up nice, right?
Fair enough. What's
There's
this?
a
Does he like, puts
toolkit.
on the glove?
There's
I
a
think
cool
it's a-
toolkit back there for you too.
Ah,
I think it.
it's like we're
yeah.
going to fight the boss or something. As he
Yeah.
opens this thing up. Yeah, as he starts tooling around, he has the glove on. He's like, it's like the Thanos glove that he's messing around with. All right, what are you all doing?
Head on down the road, I think.
Yep, set off to the
Start-
Black Mountain.
Heading down the road in style. You come to the bridge, where obviously it goes over the river and everything. There's a sign that says Verda Montaigne to the west, which Connor, you knew about. And as it's around just past noon, the sun is obviously high in the sky and everything. You don't see the shadow of the mountain because it's directly over the mountain. Where Gelgal said to go was, he said, avoid the mountain if you can. But you might be able to gain different knowledge, and there is the village there if you needed supplies. This is what he said. He said, at Hester's zenith, so when she is high in the sky, this is the moon, there is a mesa which will be set in silver on the plateau. This is called the Hill of Sut. So you'd be going southeast. And supposedly, when you get into the desert, right, of the high plains, you should see a mesa, and that is the tomb. It's actually not a mountain. It's this flat place. And it
So
should be silver.
we shouldn't be going towards the Black Mountain then.
Correct.
Yeah, we don't want to be in the shadow of the Black Mountain at any given point in time.
So we
Unless
just
you want to gain knowledge or something like that, or go into town for a reason. Gelgal said avoid Black Rock.
Yeah.
He didn't mention Verda Montaigne at all.
Gelgal
Okay,
said
no,
he had
we'll hit.
a buddy that was going to get us.
On the map that we've got, that I picked up, the ancient map of
Mhm.
Is there no corresponding point?
So there are. You see that they had several locations as they've been looking through. Several have X's, or are marked out, I should say. Places of interest. One is on Black Rock. So Olo
Avoid that.
believes there's something on Black Rock that needs to be found. One is off to the west, no, the east in Grand Glen, and then one is somewhere in Sut, but they don't know where.
Yeah.
Gelgal told you it was in Sut, and when you see it by the light of Hester, it'll be a silver mesa.
Okay. We'll head towards the wastes of Sut.
As you all head that way, we montage through.
Mhm.
The day wears on. It was going to take you about a day and a half to get here, but you're riding in style in this restolen wagon. Go over the bridge, go on. The rolling hills give way to more flatlands, and you see the road, the main road, goes south and west, towards Westic, towards civilization, not towards the desert. As you do see a path that people have taken, it's not a main road, bends off and starts going up to the flats of the desert as you all start taking that road. It gets hot really quick. You're like 3 p.m.-ish. The heat of the day has really started to go. You see the mirages on the horizon. What is it called? Fata Morgana, I believe. You know what I'm talking about? It's mirages. the heat radiation welling up. It's sweltering. Dry heat. The reptile loves it, I'm sure. The rest of you, dry as a bone. Do you guys have water and provisions?
Yeah.
We did get a bunch of
Okay.
traveling gear before we left.
Do you have that stuff?
on the
You're housing
marketplace.
it.
And we
You guys
did
are
cross
housing this
that.
stuff.
We crossed that.
Go on.
You know, if we were running low, I would imagine we would have filled up our water at the bridge with the.
I would imagine too. Did you
Yeah.
do it?
I mean, I would have maybe. I mean, I might not have.
As you
I'm
guys
a lizard.
would
I
have
don't really
filled your canteens and all these things, as you're just drinking this water down, it becomes very obvious that in the middle of the high plains desert where you are, I mean, it's a Death Valley type thing. You're not in the valley, but you're not going to live. You're not going to survive too terribly long out here without supplies. Thankfully, you have some. As you're going, the day's wearing on. It's 120 degrees, so somewhere in the 40s for you, John. And it's about that time. Whoever is out riding, I believe it's Clem, you see Mirage, and you see the Mirage is moving. After like 10, 15 minutes, you see that it's a group walking roughly in this direction. A little bit longer, you can see it's the girls.
No.
As they're dragging ass. You do anything?
We should probably stop and wait for him.
Yeah, wave them over just to make sure that they can see us.
Okay.
And
Go on.
I'll try and count their numbers. So if
Well, as you kind of wait for them to walk through the desert to you, in the 120-degree weather, you guys gotta kind of hang it out, waiting. It takes a while. One falls over. They pick her up. They're like, ah! They get slowly to you, and we'll say that it is Embrattle and 3 others. So Ivy, Sybil, and Anna. As they come up, they're like, "Are you real? Are you real?" They're like touching you guys, and what? We lost him.
I give him Brattle a little water. She deserves
You let
it.
the rest die.
I'll give him my
shall
canteen to
empty.
pass around.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah.
I'm
You
good.
guys take
We
care of the
share it.
girls. They're beat. They're all chapped and sunburned, and they sit in the back and they go to sleep after hydrating. They will tell you that they lost the guy, but Shoggoth. They lost the guy in the desert. They don't know where he went. He disappeared, and they wanted to turn back, but it was getting too hot. It's that whole thing. As you guys set out, keep going, hotter and hotter. The air is actually not as thick because you're in the high desert. The altitude's like 3,000-4,000 feet. A little bit of a headache, little breathless because you're not used to it. Even then, it is so hot, which means it's really hot in this desert. White, you can barely see. Buteau boy, Bob, it is painful to look outside. There's heat everywhere. Everything is like that, just orange and red. You can barely see the contours of things, as your infravision is definitely working against you out here. Finally, I'm assuming you guys keep on going.
Yeah.
Okay, you're drinking down your water, sweating balls. The girls are just out, and you're going out into this plains. Who's driving it? I know Clem is on his own horse. Who's actually driving the wagon?
I guess it'd have to be.
Yeah, I don't think it's
Bob's
me.
and-
I think
Bob's- Bob's and
I'm
wagon. It would be
healing
me.
and sleeping and working on my leather. So armor.
Or is
Yep.
it Connor? Connor, you and Clem are out front. You're going. And as you maybe have your map in front of you, you're trying to figure out where you are as the sun's starting to go down. You can see there are mesas. I know this is not to insult anyone's intelligence, but does everybody know what a mesa is?
Yeah.
I had to look it up.
It's where that guy worked from Breaking Bad. He worked at Mesa Verde.
An arrow kills you. Yeah,
No,
as
just
you're looking
kidding.
out. So a mesa, Close Encounters of the Third Kind?
Yeah.
It's a raised portion of land. It's like an island just without water. And the sides are pretty much cliffs. And they can be 20 feet, they could be 50, 100 feet tall. So it's a large mesa. You see out here, it's caused by erosion or gods walking around. There are several mesas. As you've gotten into this part of the deep desert, there's loads of them all around. Maybe 5 o'clock, stifling heat. Probably have another hour or two of this. And as you look at your supplies, there's a tipping point here. You're going to be fine. But getting back, let's say you were to turn around and go back right now, you're going to get back running out of your supplies, like on the edge. You keep on going. If you try to turn around and go back, you might have some serious problems.
Hey guys.
As in, you might lose somebody.
I think we should stop here because aren't we supposed to, like, once we're in the desert, we're like supposed to look at a moon or something? I think we're actually a little early. It might not happen for a day or so.
Oh. Do we head back for supplies?
I think we should. I think we should head back for supplies. We can wait here, see if the moon comes out in the right spot, and then we can at least mark the map.
Yeah.
So if
I do.
the majority of people stay here, 1 or 2 people head out with money to get food, water for the rest of the job.
Well, if you want, I'll stay here and keep working on my new outfit and heal up a little bit.
You're still in a bad way, though, aren't you?
I think so. Yeah.
Well, me and yourself, Clem, head off.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Get some water, get some food.
We can take the girls back with us too, and we can just go on horseback and leave the wagon here.
You guys are gonna leave me alone in the desert by myself.
You're not alone.
with
No, you're not.
Ichabod.
I'm with you.
Yeah, with
Ichabod's like,
Ichabod.
"Bling."
Take me with you.
Me and Ichabod, we're good. Yeah, music.
As
we're gonna
Ichabod's.
work on our
playing?
harmonies.
Wait.
Yeah.
Wait a moment. You don't eat people, do you? As he kind of takes a step back.
No. It's a joke. It's a joke. I just jest a lot.
You see the girls kind of looking at each other.
I'm a funny guy. I'm hilarious.
So it's about 6 o'clock ish, you guess. We'll say an hour or two before sundown. Are you guys breaking off on horses with the girls on the back of horses going back? It'll take you. You've been traveling about a day, so it'll take you all through the night, and you'll arrive late. So early morning.
Do we want to take the girls with us? Would it not be just quicker for us to get to the nearest village, get some supplies, then ride back? If there's just the 2 of us, it'll be quicker.
Yeah, you can leave the girls here. I think that's fair.
They're all looking at each other.
I'm just wondering the practicalities of having the girls, if they're here or if they're not. I'm not sure.
No,
Is
I'll
it going to be
take care of
safe?
them. I'll make sure they're real safe.
Yeah, I was worried about their safety, but if we're going back for supplies anyway, then we can make sure to get enough for everybody.
Why don't you take 3 of the girls, maybe one for each horse, so they can carry some stuff, or 2 of the girls, maybe. And then you could lug down a horse and really move fast.
That'd be faster than getting another wagon.
Or whatever.
I'm thinking we need like barrels of water.
All right, get
Yeah,
barrels
okay.
of water.
We'll get another one.
Get another wagon.
Okay,
You got
so
the money, I
who was
think. Somebody said
Who
you
is,
had a bunch
who
of
is
money.
heading to Verdamontagna?
I think it's just Clem and Connor.
Okay.
And I think
Yeah.
just
You
the 2 of
really
us
leaving the rest.
on horseback. Yeah, I think we'll travel through the night, and because that's the best time to travel in the desert anyway.
Well, 2 old gypsies in our hall door. They came brave and lordly, oh. One came right and the other in low. As you guys raggle taggle Gypsy O back. Come on, I'm hilarious. To Verdamontagna. It's a lot easier going with at night. The heat starts to wear off, around like 9 or 10, you would guess. And it's getting colder and colder now since you're in the high desert. And you guys tear ass that way. Now, we're in the world. Do either of you want to bid a trait to kind of take the fiction in your favor here? This is a moment where you could, you don't have to.
Well, as in getting there or when we get there?
What's up to you? If you wanted to bid a trait to change the fiction in your favor, you could do that. I mean, you guys could also go into rounds and I'll do nada and sort of let the fiction slide into my hand and you lower the curse level. So it's kind of what you do.
I don't
I'm
want
going
to
to do
anything
nada.
that would increase.
Yeah, because right now y'all are in Murphy's Law, which means it might start raining. I mean, a lot of shit may go down.
I'm going to do nada.
Okay, so you do nada. So we're in a round. All right, awesome. What about your guys' actions?
Same. Just
Same?
do nothing.
Okay. Lots of do nada. All right, so you dropped it down to 5 ticks, which is very good because it was very high, actually. Now that I think about it, you may have actually been at Perilous.
You did mention the word perilous before.
Yeah. It was pretty high up there. So you're down to 5 ticks, which is just danger. You're down to curse level 2. As it starts to get cooler, that maybe the feeling of, is it just going to keep getting hot? What in the world? Goes away. And the weather, as you 2 get back to Verdamontagna, it's so much more temperate. You make very good time. The horses are working a lot easier. You get to the river and you start heading into town. It's very late, but despite that, knowing that you need to get back, there's this feeling of energy. You're going to get to Verdamontagna soon. Back in the desert, the boys have left. The big boys. Well, one big boy, other normal boy. As you're making pretty good time on your workings and your mail, maybe like your armor, Bob, making it look cool, making it fit a little bit better to you. You notice that Ichabod, since I'm having control of the narrative here, he's tooling around with these Theurgic bits and pieces. It's pretty obvious that they don't really go together, but he's trying to cobble something together. And so he says, what do you think? Do we want some sort of tool, or something useful, or more something that's going to harm someone?
I think, I don't know, I'm pretty strong. I think if you look at me, I usually get harmed. So if there's something that you could, if we could keep me from getting harmed, I think that's kind of the point, isn't it?
As he's sitting there cobbling, I think I have something. He starts messing around with, who knows what it is. It looks almost like a little bit of like he's making like a tortoise shell thing that kind of moves. You have no clue what it is. The girls, go on.
Can I ask you a question while you're doing this?
Fine.
Is it worth it? Is Lady Bismarck really worth all this?
As he sets down the Theurgic and looks off towards the stars. The Lady Bismarck. Have you ever seen her, my friend? Have you ever seen beauty made into a woman? Of course you have. Nothing like her.
Is she dinner?
She's statuesque. That's what she is. She's a dream. As he picks up his guitar, he's left his Theurgic behind. It's half finished. Ding, 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 and he starts singing a song to Lady. Oh, the Lady Bismarck. If only she'd look at me. As he's staring off and starts weaving the lyrics into the stars, and he mentions Hester. And Hester's high, as you notice, Bob. Maybe not his song anymore because it's terrible. Hester is high in the sky. Brilliant, yellow. And your vision falls directly on the horizon. And you see the plains of Sut. This high desert is all bathed in this yellow light. And parts of it sort of shine and glimmer like vampires in Twilight with a silver. And one specific spot, maybe a few miles from you, a silver mesa. Beautiful. The mesa itself looks like a mountain that has been collapsed. And if you were not in this position, in this location with Hester over top, you'd have looked over it 100,000 times. But you do see that as we montage, since everybody has done nada. You boys get to Verdemontagna, a city that never sleeps. You know, the farmers are in the tavern getting fucked up. As you guys walk in, you know, the smithy is doing the same thing. What are you guys getting? You're just various provisions or what?
Food, water.
A cart or a wagon, another wagon.
Yeah, a wagon. Yeah.
Okay.
We should probably see if there's somebody like a guide or somebody who can drive the wagon for us so that we can sleep while it rolls.
So, going off the do nada, you will find these various things. If you all want to bid to take control of it, then you can do that too. So if you want to say, I bid such and such, and I find Aragorn. It won't be Aragorn, but like I find a ranger who knows Sut. That would be a bid. Otherwise, yeah, you find someone that you can pay to guide you through the desert.
Yeah, that's good enough.
But let me give you
Me.
let me give you guys who's doing most of the talking here.
Honestly, I was thinking we'd kind of split up. Like he gets the
Yeah.
supplies, I go get the wagon.
Sure, because you got your money bags. All right. We'll say Clem, Romy, and Animus as you use your natural charisma and gut feeling. You know, it's like you're checking out a car and like, will that wagon make it? What'd you get?
Yeah, one success.
One success is all you need. As you find a pretty good wagon. You guys, did you bring only your two horses? Or I guess you're using those two horses to take the wagon. You realize with one success that these horses have been going for pretty much a full day and a half in the desert. It would be good to switch out your horses. Because
Okay.
going through the desert again, they'll probably die.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
let's
you
do
pay
that then.
So we'll say that all in all, this is going to cost you 10 coin, which is a lot of money. So that's 10 weeks of labor. You spend like it's nothing
Yep, that's right.
because you got a lot of money. Connor, same for you, Animus. As you're sitting there talking to people and getting the provisions and whatnot, this is going to be a gut feeling about, just in general, you all moving in, the sort of feel of the people here. It is nighttime in the shadow of this mountain.
0 success. I get
Okay.
nothing.
They seem like great guys, great fellas. You might sit down with them, play a little poker or whatever, Craster type game they have, liar's dice. You win some, you lose some, have a couple drinks. Get your provisions as you're waiting on Clem to come back, and you guys have new horses, fresh horses. Do you stay the night, or do you just head straight back?
Head straight back. What do you think,
Okay.
Clem?
Yeah, I think we should head back. We don't want to leave them out there too long.
Yeah, we don't
And
want
we can
Bob eating anyone.
hopefully he doesn't. Yeah, but I think we can sleep in the wagon while it rolls.
Yeah.
You guys have found yourself another NPC, Oliver. The silly name. Oliver Stonesworn, as he is your guide. Oliver is Oliver is a crossed race. So nobody in town really likes him that much because they're all racist. He is crossed between Zunths and Dinah. So he's got some rough green skin that almost goes into scales. Almost looks like he has like a cool tattoos or perhaps psoriasis or something. His teeth are a little bit more reptilian, like fangy. Beyond that, he's about 6 feet tall, robust fellow. But yeah, he's been all through these parts. And when you ask about who could make it in the desert and who's insane enough to go out there, you get Oliver Stonesworn. He's a gruff person, but you guys have become rather accustomed to reptilian folk. So maybe that's what it is. Oliver will say, "We should travel at night, for the sun will make the goings very difficult." As you guys start going, you cross the river and you're starting to head back. Oliver turns to you. He's, out ahead. Sorry, he's in the wagon with you. He says, "You spent a lot of money in town going out to this desert. I don't mean any offense, but are you with Olo the Wrecker?"
Nope. We've heard of him, but we're keeping our distance from him. Why?
Her.
Why do you... Oh,
Olo's a
right.
woman.
Okay. Ah,
Didn't know that.
no, I'm sure I was told that Olo was a bloke. Right, okay, woman then, right?
Well, the only people that come out to this desert are, for lack of a better word, treasure hunters. More than one of them have died out here, been lost.
So
What makes you think
what would- why's Olo been out here?
looking for this Theurgic mountain thing?
There were no mountains in the desert, though, is there?
I know there aren't any, but well, it's a fable. It's a fool's errand.
Yeah, we just want to get across. We've miscalculated our travel and our provisions, and we've left companions out there. So we want to make sure we've got enough provisions to get us through the rest of the desert. We're just passing through.
You want to cross the whole plain of Sut and get down to the Azraelian Mountains?
Something like that. We just need a guide
You seem kind of
to get
odd.
us through.
Well, I'll get us through. I know a few watering holes. As you guys keep on going.
What else do you know of this fabled mountain that Olo is looking for? And is there any other treasures that are being hunted for?
Well, the word is that if you can get to that mountain of Theurgic or whatever it is, you can gain immortality. I mean, they say there's a spring there and fountain of youth, and it's all a bunch of hogwash.
And
Long time ago, there were battles fought here, and before climate change.
we're also looking for a former, a companion who has become a bit waylaid by the name of Curstwood. You wouldn't have heard of such a fellow in the area,
Kind
would
of
you?
arcs an eyebrow. Cursed, would you say?
Yes, an erstwhile companion of ours.
He kind of looks at you guys. You can roll Animus to gain a feel from him. I mean, to be honest with you,
One success.
I keep things private between my clients. As
So
he absolutely knows.
So you've been in his employ then?
Shit.
Oh, well, no, that's fine. I respect your professionalism. And then I'll slide out a couple of coins for him to see.
Like
There's
coins?
Just this, like a handful of change, that sort of thing. Not too
Not
much.
proper coins.
Just the bits. Yeah.
Yeah, the bits. Yeah, just obviously client confidentiality. But is there anything you could tell us about, say, what some of your previous clients have employed you for? Anything that they've been after?
Well, I don't know if it's obvious, but I've been a sellsword a few times, but mostly guiding all up and down the coast and whatnot. As for this Cursewood fella, as he takes the bits, kind of counts them. I don't know where he went. As you can tell, he wants more money.
I'll give him some more bits then.
All right, so give him a little more bits. As you guys are in the desert now, and it's maybe the sun is just breaking. He says, well, you say he's one of your friends?
Erstwhile companion.
He went running when he saw you fellas coming to town, or heard about it. He's back in Verda Montaigne.
I looked at Clem.
Not surprised.
How would he have known we were there?
I mean, he kind of points at the huge Moroshi. Well, you guys aren't really subtle. You kind of came into town at about 4 a.m. just asking for permission to go to the desert. Yeah. I guess word just traveled.
Yeah, when you put it like that, yeah, it's quite obvious. Oh, well,
I mean, I didn't think anything of it. I figured someone was after him. He was acting squirrely.
No, I'm quite sure that once he recovers his wits, he will be following us and keen to make our acquaintance once again, so we'll let him come to us. So that's fine. That's fine.
As you guys ride up with your new wagon, you see the day is starting to break, and up ahead, on out maybe a couple miles, since you can see forever, your wagon. As when you get to it, the heat of the day has not started. It's still morning, 9 o'clock or so, and you regroup. All right, we have about 45 minutes left. Let's take a quick break, use the bathroom, etc., 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 and we'll finish up this last scene to go into the last session, okay?
Yep, brilliant.
Murder one. Irie. So we're back.
Irie, we back.
It was gone forever.
All together now. Massive.
Massive. Yeah. Thank you for joining us. If you're joining us, we're doing session 4 of this A Leap Ahead campaign in Cursed. And we're live streaming on Twitch. If you would like to subscribe, it'd be awesome. If you would like to follow, it'd be awesome. If you want to talk to us on the chat, it'd be awesome.
It's a lot of great
Any questions
stuff.
about the game, any questions about the world, or for the players, let us know. All right. So, Miller, are you having troubles with the Discord?
I think it's just my videos killing it every time I turn it on, so
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go
That's
camera
cool.
off.
That's cool. All right. As you guys meet up, you're in the desert. You can. It's cool out just from the night, but from experience it will heat up within just a few hours. You can still see Hester high in the sky, despite it being daylight, just like before. But as you look at the desert, out before you, all those mesas have no real idea of where to go, most of you. As Bob, you see this half-breed, called a crossed. So this is something that happens here and there always with Denna. So it'll be Denna and one of the other races, and that is a crossed. But this one definitely has some Zunths in them. This guy, Oliver, as he seeing you, kind of steps back and gives you a slow bow, as he'll say in Zunths, a respectful honorific to you being Buteau, which is more of the priesthood and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's good to see you too, brother.
He nods. He'll actually say to you, Connor and Clem, as he kind of turns, I had no idea that you were traveling with a Buteau.
Yeah, that's Bob Baker.
Yep, that's Bob.
As he kind of turns back and bows again, I am honored to go on this, albeit fool's errand. I will guide you as best I can. As Ichabod is like, ding, 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 ding. Oh, a crossbreed. Ding, 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 ding. Goes back in the wagon.
We need to get some scissors.
A funny thing last night when I was chewing on some peyote, I think I saw the general direction we should go.
You see the girls pop out. We saw the silver mesa just right over there. It's 2 or 3 miles that way.
But,
Okay.
So is it that one right there, or that one over there?
well, it's
They
just,
kind of. It was that one. We swear it was that one.
it lit up like a Christmas tree. You'll see it in night to night for sure. But
Ichabod, what's a Christmas tree?
well, it's a noble thing that happens once a year, where we kill a god and then resurrect it and burn its ashes under a tree. And then it comes back in 3 to 5 days.
You hear Juliana? Wicked. Yeah, so what do y'all do?
I don't know. Do you guys want to rest during the day, during the heat of the day?
I think
Take it at night?
Speaking of rest, did I heal any of my many moments?
No, the only way that you get moments back is if you do a sit back action. But
Okay.
resting in game can heal wounds, but it does not heal moments.
Oh, I see. Well, I'm gonna sit back.
So
I'm gonna go ahead and
your wounds will be completely healed now
Yeah.
that you've used the tincture and you've actually rested.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna use my sit back action to be like,
Yeah, I think so. That's the way we go. I'm gonna sit in the back of this in this cart we got going while we travel.
You got double
Horses
cart
don't
down.
like me.
As you start to sit back and regain some of your moments, so go ahead and roll Animus with whatever you can.
yeah. Can I use my leatherwork in order to assist?
No.
Because and for this reason, I had this massive hole, and I would tie the leather a little tighter together, like a corset. I've been working on this for like
that
hours.
actually is a pretty the boots are getting tall on my legs of the bullshit. But yeah, actually, I think that actually does. You kind of cinch it up and
cinch it up.
use it kind of like a
Cinch it up
suture.
tight. I might
Sure.
not be as nimble, but I'm certainly like made of some
Oh, you
sterner
won't
stuff.
Yeah, that's fine. As maybe the sneaky thought crosses Connor and or Clem's mind about Cursedwood.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, how is it that he got ahead of you? Well, you guys rested. You took some time. Connor, you know that Verda Montagna, it's really it's the biggest settlement that was out ahead of you. So it's a bit of a gamble on Cursedwoods to get over there. Although, how did he get there, ahead of you without you seeing? Probably DM Fiat. But it kind of makes sense in the timeline. Main thing though is you know that Cursedwood has something with Olo. Something.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know what the details are. You know that Cursedwood wants to get to the mountain. You know that Olo wants to get to the mountain.
Mhm.
Maybe the thoughts, this is all conjecture. Did those guys who were waiting in ambush, was that for you? Regardless, you don't know. But
I'll
you could
speak
be
to
pretty sure.
Oliver.
Go on. Yeah.
No, I'll let you finish.
Regardless, you know that Cursedwood almost assuredly knows that you know something and is probably going to Olo right now.
Right.
So they're after us.
Yeah.
So resting here until night is the worst decision.
It is through the desert, and they don't necessarily know. But this is a lot of conjecture. I just want to put it out there that these are ideas that might be bipping and bopping in the mind.
Yeah.
Part of the reason is you guys are at Murphy's Law right now. So it's not bad, but it's up in the air. What are your guys' actions?
Role play. Speak with Oliver.
Okay.
Risk being a little bit more honest. That yes, we do want to make our way through part of the desert, but the slight detour, sightseeing, a particular mesa which the girls have already blurted about. But also, if our objectives overlap with Olo's, how far away is Olo last spotted to
Now,
where
are you
we
saying
are?
this in game?
Yeah, this is me speaking to him,
Yeah.
but summarizing it rather than having a full length
Yeah.
conversation.
He kind of nods. Well, if Cursedwood contacted Olo and she wanted to take the bait, she does want to find this
fabled mountain. I mean, they could be here a half a day. But coming out in the middle of the day is insanity. Who would do that? As you're all, as the girls kind of look at it. Yeah, who would walk?
I think it seems pretty nice out here. I don't know why you guys complain it so much. It's probably because you all look about the same.
Clem,
Soft.
what is your action?
My action, I'm going to autopilot.
Autopilot drops that down to danger instead of Murphy's Law. As you autopilot, kind of sit back, getting ready and such. The day is starting to wear on a little bit, but there is that impending. If you wait too long, it's going to be
I think
pretty obvious.
I think we should go. We've rested for long enough, and head off just after midday.
As
So
you
that
guys,
by the time we get there, it'll begin to cool down.
will actually be heated up, right?
After once we start traveling after midday.
Yeah, because it's you're only a few miles from the mesa.
Oh, right, okay.
So as you get down, despite it being a few miles, the road is rocky. It's the salt flat style. So you're kind of going slow with the horses. Takes you about an hour to get there. Starting to heat up a little bit, maybe around 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
As you get to this mesa, it is 40, 50, 60 foot tall around. The sides are all, it almost looks like it's collapsed in on itself. And it's just this monolith that wraps around. If you didn't know better, it kind of looks like a fortress, but it's just caked on mud and dirt. As you approach, think of like an Indiana Jones movie, looking up at this thing and all the way around. Where are you guys going? The ground is cracked and just completely dehydrated.
In the notes or the map, anything that we've got, is there any indication of taking this back to the whole Lonely Mountain? Is there a big arrow pointing to a secret entrance? Or something like that? So I don't think we've got equipment for climbing all the way.
There is a Theurgic symbol that you don't know what it means, and it's placed on the mountain itself. But other than that, nothing that directly says how to enter it.
Head towards that point, unless people have got objections.
All right, let's resolve the curse. Go on.
Oh, sorry.
No, go on.
I was just gonna say we can ask Ichabod. He knows what it is.
Indeed. As you start to talk to Ichabod, Clem, will you resolve the curse, or do you want to roll? Right now, it's at a curse level 2.
Let's say we have 2 wagons, right? Let's say one of them, like the wheel breaks on it.
Yeah. Dangerous broken machine. As you get down, the terrain is so rocky and so hard, it splits one of the wheels. As you'll have to take some time to replace the wheel, or take one of the wagons, or go on foot or something.
Let's consolidate and, just get what we need. I think these 2 wagons are going to slow us down and make our steeds tired.
Agree.
So you consolidate. It takes you a little bit of time. It doesn't take everybody. The girls are out there trying to stay in the shade. Maybe 1 or 2 of them are up near the actual face, climbing around on it and such. If you're not moving stuff, what are you doing? Is Ichabod sitting there looking at the map, trying to figure out what he knows?
Well, is this taking actions or
No, you're in the world.
just in the world? Okay. I'll be paranoid. I'll be looking back to see if we can see any sign of anyone approaching.
You look out. This kind of goes down to the base of the mesa. So there's a long hill. You can see several miles, from the top where you actually came down. Other than the Fata Morgana, the hallucinations, the mirages, it's kind of moving. You don't see anything concrete. As you keep on looking back, the day is starting to swelter. Ichabod will pipe up. All right, as he takes a swig of perhaps wine, perhaps water. All right. So what this symbol means, it's difficult to translate. There's an upside and there's a downside. And well, I don't want to get it wrong, all right? Who's talking to him?
I'll talk to him because I've been talking to him about, we're buddies. I care about Ichabod for sure.
Yeah.
So
what do you say to him? As he's sort of stammering about.
What are you talking about, Ichabod?
Well, so see this symbol here. It's sort of like two D's looking at one another, right? If you take it, you gotta look at it like that. Right?
2D.
Two faces, if you will, and well, it can mean several things. It could mean it can mean death. It could also mean perhaps just the sun, right? Like the heat of the day, sort of type thing. Two faces.
Two faces.
It could be someone's initial.
Like with the first and a last name, like Bob Baker, like BB.
As he kind of points, perhaps, and maybe it's a name. I could say it out loud, but you're not supposed to read runes out loud. They can do fancy things.
What if you read it out loud, but like make it rhyme, like something like instead of saying the real thing, which could be like clickety clack, you could say like kitty cat, and then we could do mimey things and kind of guess.
As he's kind of squinting his eyes at you, as Connor, you're standing next to him, as you see the wheels turning in Ichabod's brain, as he's like, that's a great idea. I love this idea. But I'll incorporate my song. As he goes and runs into the back and starts to get his guitar.
Yeah, rhymes with.
I will just continue to look behind.
So you guys are gonna let this happen, all right? All right. Animus, to distinguish what Ichabod is doing.
I'm gonna use my good old buddy. Can I use my bond with Clem? Is Clem's
If
here?
Clem is a part of it, then yes.
He's listening. I'm sure everybody's listening. I'm sure Connor and Clem are here.
Connor's walked away.
Yeah, Connor's like.
He's looking over his shoulder, loading his rifle. That's what he's doing.
Yeah, am I bond with Clem? Clem's still standing here. Like, we're buddies, know.
Is Clem? Clem,
A lot of the little people talk, and we don't really know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was thinking Clem was loading, doing the reloads on the wagon, tying things down, and
all right,
I would imagine Ichabod sitting in the shade.
Okay, so here we go. So Tal Parma Rein Doculoin. As it dawns on you, he's speaking High Calgarian. So you've got to rhyme with High Calgarian.
Yeah, I don't know what any of that is.
So go ahead and roll. You get that bond.
Oh yeah, I got a second.
Yeah, you got to roll.
I'm not going to make you literally do it. It's just funny. So you all know, High Calgarian is literally Esperanto, the language.
Yeah. All right. No.
What'd you get? How many successes did you get?
0.
None? As you're like, you got nothing. He's like,
If I open
I
up,
could just say it out loud if you want. I mean, the problem is if it's magic, then the spell will go or something, or it'll explode the map.
Yeah. We don't want. Don't say it. Just kind
It'll
of.
give you real skin, man. I don't know what it'll do.
Yeah. Don't say it. Maybe just. Can you just hold on to it? Maybe till we get to the right place, and then I could say like, you should say
Connor,
it now.
The mirage shifts as you see distant. It's over the hill. So Fata Morgana, like you can see, it's like a curvature, right? With the heat, basically the heat radiation, the light bounces off of it, so you can kind of see over the hill. Miles away, but on their way, a caravan is moving this way. Theurgic.
Right. I'll shout over my shoulder, Ichabod, just write it down in our language so we can read it. And 2, we've got company. I shall cook the rifle ready.
He writes it down and hands it to you. If you say it out loud, though, it won't. The gods of Craster don't care what languages you're speaking it. Clem?
I'll read it.
Where are you, Clem?
Clem's right there loading the wagons. You're doing the cross load, tying everything down.
As you're nearly finished, as Connor walks up, ching, 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 and he has the map out, and you say this out loud.
What?
You say the word.
No, I'm just reading it. I'm not saying it out loud.
We
can just pass it. We can just pass it amongst ourselves. Not the girls, because chances are they'll blurt it out loud.
They will likely blurt it out.
Yeah. So between the 3 of us, we can read it in our heads. But as I hand it to Clem, I will also point out: did you manage to sort out that Theurgic pistol? Because we've got company. There's a whole caravan coming.
No, I haven't looked at it.
Right. We might have time if we can get that sorted. This is it.
Yeah.
Connor, I have sent you the word in DM.
Yep. Dun dun dun. Okay.
I'm a dick.
Right. Yeah, I did say it in our language.
It isn't. It's written. It's written in the Roman letters.
Is it a word
Because
of
he said
power?
what it meant. It can be.
So not in English then. Not in English.
Well, he said the
Esperanto.
translation. It's got several translations.
Yeah.
Like it means dead face. You're supposed to copy paste that into Google Translate, man. Come on now.
Yeah, think Esperanto. Oh,
Yeah. This is the riddle. It's the riddle of the internet.
yeah.
Right. I'll copy text. Can't believe
Meanwhile,
Google.
Yeah, I have
it's
no
kind of
idea.
sitting there thinking about this.
No idea.
The caravans are coming over the corner.
I'm
You hear
not-
the girls in the back. I think we see something out there. All right. What are y'all doing?
I'm gonna do
Or am I
nothing.
frozen? I'm not frozen. Okay.
I'm gonna do nada.
Yeah. Do nada. All right. Go into a round.
You're taking action.
Yeah. Sit
All right.
here.
What do nada does lower. Okay. What about you, Clem? What do you do for your action?
Well, I want to get the gun fixed. Can I sit back and do that at the same time? Or do I need to take charge to fix the gun? Okay.
You'd have to take charge or give it to an NPC to do.
Oh. That's a good idea. Yeah. I will give it to Ichabod. Hey, can you get that out of there?
Maybe.
And then,
As he holds it. Does it explode?
let's hope not.
As he'll be tooling with it. So what is your action?
So then my action will be sit back.
Just sitting back. Okay. So go ahead and roll Animus to regain. And Connor, what about your action? Although I think yeah, you're back. I think. You're doing a little bit of the robot freeze frame here and there. You are
That's
muted.
why I'm crushed.
Oh, I hear you now. Say it again.
Yep. Yeah. Yes, I've Google translated it. I guess we'll have to get there to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and no doubt upwards.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay. As I was cutting out, I heard talk of caravan getting closer, so I shall.
Yeah, you guys are in a round.
We've got a grenade. Who wants to hold the grenade? Throw that. Not the holy grenade, because I left that.
I've
behind.
got it. As you see, Juliana, give it to me.
Oh, we could trap the broken wagon.
Oh no, Imrodal. Sorry, not Juliana.
Which one's that one?
She's one of
That we can
the.
trust.
She's the pickpocket. She was a team captain.
All right. Okay.
Ah! She like runs up with the holy hand grenade.
It's not the holy hand grenade. It's another. It's a smaller grenade that we picked.
Oh, it's a smaller one. I
Yeah.
want the big one.
Yeah, give the 12-year-old a grenade. That's smart.
Did you leave the holy hand grenade back in the dirt?
We did.
Did you bury it?
Yeah,
I don't
I wasn't
Did you bury it?
picking that up.
All right. You buried it way back where.
Covered
I
it
can
with
give her a
bit of
grenade.
dirt.
All right, so she has a grenade now. Yeah, and what is the action you take? So they have taken a do nada and a sit back, and what are you gonna do?
I'm gonna sit back, increase the
Okay.
curse, and get a trait back. Or
All right,
two.
go ahead and roll Animus. You guys
Um,
right now are at 6, so you're at Murphy's Law. Okay.
Right, I get 2 traits back. I think I will go for Ruthless.
Without a roof.
Oh,
All right, so bottom of the round. Let's see. Clem did it last time, so it's on you, Sir Bob. Do you want to do the curse
Yeah.
or roll? Okay, do it.
I'm gonna do the curse. I think upon seeing us, the tribe of our followers starts to pick up the pace, and they'll, instead of like they were going a certain speed, now they're gonna go much faster because they see us.
Yeah.
We're in the open.
They get to the top of the hill, which is still like 2-3 miles away. So
Yeah.
they're still far. And they've been traveling through the day. So that should all be taken into account. But you see how many there are. There's 3 wagons, several outriders on horses. One of the wagons has like a big top looking thing. Think Furiosa, just on a miniature scale, as likely Olo the Wrecker is with them. And if you had very, very good vision, you might see Kirstwood sitting there with them. And he's like pointing. Just
First
remind
time.
Bob, it's very difficult for you to see because everything is very hot. So you kind of have like myopia. Okay.
Sure. I can see close, kind of.
We're in the world. Do we say the word? Do we wait? What are we doing?
I think we should
Set
go
some
to
sort
the
of
mesa.
trap.
The Silver Mesa, right? Go. Baby, go.
No. Do we really want to lead them to the place that we want to go to? Because if they capture us here, they can't kill us because we've got the information that they need. If we take them to the point on the mesa, then they can just kill us because they've got what they need. Keeping us alive allows them the opportunity to learn something.
So you want to take them on a pickled goose extravaganza?
I'm not sure what that means, but I'll say yes.
You guys are about 50, 60 feet from the mesa. A couple of your girls are actually climbing around. They're climbing off of the side of it. So, action's on you. Where are you going? What are you doing?
Let's just pass. I point off into the distance. All right, let's pretend like it's over there, like a couple of mesas away.
Oliver's like, well, if we're gonna do that, then we definitely need to stay in the shade as much as possible. It's gonna get really hot really soon.
Okay. Well, let's head toward the shady area. Then I think.
You see him turn his horse and start heading towards the mesa that it actually is, but getting in the shadow and going around.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we should just try to get into this thing. Getting captured is not really an option. I think we get in there, try to lock them out.
Also a good point. I mean,
just my 2 cents.
What do you do?
We'll head straight to the point on the map, and we will do what
You get
it
there.
says.
You can see that they're about halfway, so still 1.5 miles, 2 miles away. It's very rough terrain. You see maybe like one of their wagons, since it's Murphy's Law, like actually breaks. And so they're still coming, but they're having some problems just like you guys were. As you get to where the big D-looking thing was on the map, thereabouts. Oliver has gone that way. It's like you guys went to the mesa, he went that way.
Did he not?
He's turning around. He's like, what the hell? He's just coming back. And you're there. You're at the base of this 30, 40-foot mesa.
I will
Gargantuan
look
structure.
up.
What do you do?
I will look up and open my eyes.
You do. As you do, you see Hester. It's odd you didn't notice it before. It's just the angle. Hester is directly above this place. As you kind of like can move around and find almost the spot that Hester would be like looking at you, perhaps. Now, what do you bid to make this happen? And describe this, Connor. Like, what do they see you do? As you can hear the wagons approaching and the people like shouting and such.
All right. Trait curious. I will say to them, as I'm looking around, this is the point where we need to look up, and we need to see something that corresponds maybe on Hester. Hester is trying to tell us something. I think
As you do this,
guide us.
as you do this, looking up, you're all kind of sitting there. The girls were like, "Oh, what are you doing? Why are we looking up?" As you're looking at Connor, and in a brilliant flash of white light,
Oh,
he disappears.
balls.
There's just dust and smoke. Ah, fuck! The gods smote him.
Does the sheet of paper float from my grasp and onto the ground, which has the message?
You bid. So it's up to you.
Yeah. I did.
Ichabod says, "Cal, save us!" As
I
the
think we're supposed to do what he did if we want to get in, I guess. What do you think,
Yeah,
Clem?
girls.
yeah, you
The gods did not smite him. They chose him.
See him, man. He just evaporated like a fart in the wind.
Yeah. The gods chose him and took him away to a better place. Come with us, and we'll go to a better place.
God, that sounds so bad.
Do you bid anything to convince the girls to drink the Kool-Aid?
Oh, I can't. Hold on.
You can also throw down. You can do Animus instead.
I will go with nostalgic. Back to our, thinking back to our conversations around the campfire and the stories I was telling him about the place I was from. Bring that to mind for them.
As you say that, and they kind of like look at each other and nod and go over there, and as they do it, they disappear. Oliver is backing away on his horse as he just hightails it.
Oliver, don't stop. And I'm gonna bid.
What do you bid?
I'm gonna bid starry-eyed. If you truly respect the ways of religion and of the higher purpose for this world that we're in, you will stop and become a better person and inspired.
As you being Azunth's Buteau speaking to him, he slowly stops, turns around and hops off the horse and walks over, and he follows you up to the thing. All right, these guys are almost on top of you.
And we do it together.
I do it too.
As you guys evaporate. All right, Clem, it's you and Ichabod left.
Yeah, I'll tell Ichabod. I guess we just got to look at the moon. And then I'll stop and look up at the moon.
Ichabod is the last one. As he turns around with his mustachio. I'm kidding. As he turns around, seeing the onslaught come after him. And in that moment, fixes the gun. And he looks up. So you all are dead. No, I'm kidding. This is death. There is a rushing of wind, of acceleration, exhilaration. You feel throughout your body, and you appear in a cold, like a room that feels probably unlike anything you all have felt. Unless you've been in the halls, like the great halls of the Mystics of 12 and 7, which perhaps you have. It is an air-conditioned room, is what I'm describing. On the floor is this massive circle with a massive rune. It looks like two Ds facing each other. You're in a dark room. There are little lights, perhaps they're candles, flickering on either wall. And you see this tunnel. The walls are angled in, so it's like you're in, what is it called, a rhombus? As this chute, it's this hallway that goes down, and the lights, the candles are blinking slowly, sleepily. The hallway opens out. You can see a massive room that has more and more lights, almost like a shrine or something. These candle lights are blue and greens and purples. There's a constant thrumming sound, like a distant engine. There's a whoop, 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 but distant. And then you hear the AC, basically. Cool and dry in here, like a tomb. As the lights are just dim. What are you all doing?
I'm the first one up.
Yep.
Gather my senses after a few moments, step away from where I've just appeared from, get the rifle ready. How many people were with us?
You had your group, so 3. You had Ichabod, you had Oliver, and you had 3 girls, so 8.
15? Oh.
So 8, right? I'm just going to start counting down from 8. Because as soon as the 9th person comes through, which will probably be, hopefully, Cursewood, I'll shoot them.
Okay.
Because
As
we've got the
as each of
perfect
you appear-
vantage point of taking out the enemy.
As each of these people appear, boom, boom, you see all of what I described, and you see the last thing, Connor looking at you with a gun. As maybe you step
it's
back,
me.
boom, 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 boom. 2 at a time, boom. And all 8 of you are there. As you wait, here's a question: did anyone pick up that map that Connor dropped?
Yeah, it's the piece of paper that Ichabod wrote
Yeah.
on, not the map.
Did-
It's just a
did
scrap
it-
bit
right.
of paper.
Did anyone pick it up?
No.
Nope.
Okay, so still in the desert.
Unless Ichabod thought about it.
Let's find
Well,
out.
you guys would
Yeah.
have
Or one of the girls would the handsy thief girl would have
maybe.
probably.
So, someone can bid a trait to have that happen.
I'll bid because hoping that someone would need to have held it to read the instruction and then pass it on before doing it. So
Makes sense.
So I will
Makes
use I would use survivor because it's all about the whole team surviving.
All right. So, really, really quick. With NPCs, you can bid the NPC to make them do something. So an NPC is like a trait.
All right.
And if they're a narrative NPC, I told you this is a long
Yeah.
time ago, several sessions
Yeah.
ago. If it's a narrative NPC, you can bid them 3 times a game session. If it's a notable, you can bid them once. So these girls would be
I'll bid.
notables right now.
I would bid Juliana as Juliana's the one that took the rifle from, isn't she?
Yeah, but she's not with you.
Oh, is
You'd
that
bid Emrodal is the
Yeah,
other one.
Emrodal. It seems like Emrodal
Yeah.
would know.
Model then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
And then I'll ask
You
her for
bid
the piece of
Emrodal.
paper.
And she, of course, snagged it. So you don't have to bid your own trait, is the point. You bid her instead.
Okay.
All right. As you're all sitting there, silence except for the thrumming and the AC and such. Connor, you're waiting. Is anyone moving or doing anything else? We only have a couple minutes, so real quick.
I'm gonna move into a dark corner.
Okay. What about Clem?
Yeah, Clem's kind of waiting by where we popped in with his hammer out, just in case somebody
Cool.
comes in.
You got your stuff up. The lights flicker. Boom, 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 boom.
Wait,
As go on.
where's the gun? Like the big boom gun.
Oh,
Did you still have that clip?
Ichabod has it. Ichabod has it.
Ichabod. Oh yes, yes.
he's holding
yes,
onto
he was
it.
cocking it.
As
Okay,
this little
let's
chamber
ready
you're
to
in,
shoot.
thum, 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 the lights come on, and they don't hurt your eyes. They're not fluorescent, but they're ambient. And you realize that these candles on the walls are like set in the walls like buttons. As you see slowly, the next sort of section, this hallway is starting to wake up. At the last moment, shoom, Cursewood. That's where we're going to end. All right, guys. Next session is the last session. You guys have made it to the Eye of God, and it's gonna be big medicine. Okay. Has anyone advanced? Do you have 12 XP?
No.
No.
Okay.
There was an
Everyone
auto
will
roll.
advance. Everyone will advance this game. And that way you can just sort of experience a little bit more of advancement and whatnot. And I'll give you an XP
Miller-
too, because I think you guys should have XP for playing.
So just one more XP for the.
1 XP, and
this
you get an
section.
advancement.
Oh right, okay.
And a free advancement. Yeah.
So that's our third advance. Because we got one last session, didn't we?
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
And I told Clem about it.
Ooh.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for keeping it strong and engaged and all that stuff and going a little bit over. Kip, thank you for participating and being here.
All right, Ken, you cool leading us out? I've got to bounce right now, but I'll see you guys next Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern.
Lead.
See you guys.
Great.
Look forward to the next Geeky Gamer podcast where we're going to have a guest Thursday. But until then, this has been the Indie Live Play RPG. Please consider visiting our Patreon and giving us lots of money so we could do lots of things. Thanks for the music, all lowercase letters, Mr. Interrupt, as well as Couchfire Media does this art media production that you see. Trois Reblay Productions does all the Trois Reblay stuff otherwise. Have a good. We'll see you next time.